Chapter 239. Feng Yu's matter had nothing to do with Chen Ainyu and Chen Erwa. If she really wanted to settle the score, she could settle the score with Feng Yu alone later. Zhao Yun's slight smile, on her delicate and pretty face, was particularly charming. Chen Ainyu had never seen such a beautiful woman. He didn't have the slightest bit of interest in a dark and swarthy woman every day. Zhao Yun's smile made her feel the beauty of a woman. For a moment, Chen Ainyu was a little stunned. Feng Yu saw Zhao Yun smiling at her man, and her man was also attracted by Zhao Yun. It was as if she had hooked his soul. She immediately cursed in her heart. This little b*tch really only knew how to seduce people. Now she was probably eyeing her man again. A pair of resentful eyes glared at Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun pretended not to see it. She naturally knew Feng Yu's warning. But she was not seducing people. Ainyu, aren't we leaving yet? Feng Yu pulled Chen Ainyu. If they did not leave quickly, they did not know what would happen. Only then did Chen Ainyu react and realize that he had lost his composure. Go, of course we're going. Chen Ainyu responded. Then let's go quickly. Okay. Chen Erwa wanted to follow, but his leg was injured and he could not walk at all. Feng Yu not only ignored him, but turned back and said to Chen Erwa, Erwa, let's go back and see how to deal with you. Feng Yu also blamed Chen Erwa for today's bitter experience. Chen Erwa was so scared that he trembled. Okay, don't scare Erwa. Let the child go quickly. Zhao Yun thought that the pheasant had not been cooked yet. If Chen Erwa went back, he might not be able to eat it. Seeing that the wounds on Chen Erwa's legs and hands seemed to be serious, she said to Chen Ainyu, Erwa's father, I think Erwa is badly hurt. How about this? I still have some herbs at home. I will take Erwa back and bandage him. When he is bandaged, I will let him go back. What do you think? Chen Ainyu thought for a moment and nodded. Then I'll have to trouble Miss Yuner. It's no trouble. Feng Yu was too lazy to see Chen Erwa. It was good that this damn child didn't come back. It would be better if he stayed with Zhao Yun and didn't come back. However, Zhao Yun's words still made her very angry. Wasn't pretending to be kind in front of her man a way to seduce him? This woman was really scheming. On the way, Chen Ainyu couldn't help but scold Feng Yu. Mother of my child, sometimes you go too far. Erwa is our biological child after all. Why are you so cruel to him? It's better for an outsider to treat our Erwa better. Chen Ainyu's sigh was also true. Over the years, there were many children in the family, and there were always some who were not favored. When Feng Yu gave birth to Chen Erwa, she had a trip to the gates of hell, so Feng Yu felt that Chen Erwa brought misfortune to her, so she treated this child the worst. But for Chen Ainyu, any child was the same. They were all his children. For so many years, if he had not often protected Erwa, who knew what would have become of him? Chapter 240. Woman, what nonsense are you spouting again? I'm just telling the truth. Child's father, what kind of lie are you spouting? I don't know who was the one who stared straight at that bitch just now, and you still say you didn't. Why don't you ask others if they believe you? Feng Yu cried and made a fuss again. The more she thought about it, the more aggrieved she felt. Wasn't that bitch just a little better looking than her? Was there a need to stare at her like that? You're too unreasonable. If you keep spouting nonsense, see if I don't teach you a lesson. Chen Ainyu glared at Feng Yu fiercely. Feng Yu was frightened by Chen Ainyu's look. She knew that if she spoke too much, Chen Ainyu might beat her when they got back. She quickly shut her mouth, but her hatred towards Zhao Yun increased a little. After Chen Ainyu and Feng Yu left, Zhao Yun squatted in front of Chen Erwa and asked softly, Erwa, it hurts a lot, right? Can you stand up and walk? Or Aunt Yun will be. Chen Erwa quickly shook his head, it's okay, Aunt Yun, I can walk by myself. Really? Erwa, don't try to be brave. Really, Aunt Yun, I'll get up slowly and walk slowly. It'll be okay. Chin Erwa insisted. Zhao Yun looked at Chin Erwa admiringly. Actually, this child was not that old. If it was the 21st century, he would have already thrown himself into his parents' arms and cried in pain. How could he be like now, not crying or making a fuss, and still insisting on getting up by himself? Erwa is great. Zhao Yun praised and helped Chin Erwa up. Then she supported him and followed her back home. Zhao Yun put down the basket and took out the things inside. She picked out the medicine to stop bleeding and pain, ground it and started to apply it on Chin Erwa's leg. She took out a piece of white cloth and bandaged Chin Erwa's leg. How is it, Erwa, are you better? Much better. Thank you, Aunt Yun. No need to thank me. Zhao Yun patted Chin Erwa's head. He asked Chin Erwa to sit down and rest while Zhao Tianfu accompanied him. Daodu, on the other hand, had already run into the house. Zhao Yun got up, carried a basin of hot water, and entered the room. After entering, she found Daodu crying in Mu Yanfeng's arms. Mu Yanfeng hugged Daodu and gently patted Daodu's back. Daodu's small body sank into Mu Yanfeng's embrace. It was a little warm. Zhao Yun hurriedly asked, Daodu, what's wrong? Zhao Yun could hear Daodu's soft sobs. If the child wanted to cry, shouldn't he be crying in her arms? How did she end up in Mu Yanfeng's arms? Daodu lifted his small and delicate face, which was still tear-stained. Looking at Daodu's aggrieved little face, Zhao Yun's heart ached. Mu Yanfeng explained, Yun'er, Daodu said that he wants a father. Ah. Zhao Yun was stunned. Mu Yanfeng began to explain again. Daodu said that others say that he is a wild child and has no father. If I become his father, no one will say that about him anymore. Zhao Yun was a little embarrassed. Master Mu, Daodu is young and doesn't know anything. He just said that casually, don't take it seriously. Chapter 241. Besides what? Besides, I think Daodu is very cute. I'm very happy to be Daodu's father. Mu Yanfeng said with a faint smile on his lips. Looking at the smile on Mu Yanfeng's face, which seemed to have a deeper meaning, Zhao Yun was a little embarrassed. What did this man mean? If he was willing to be Daodu's father, did that mean that he was willing to marry her? Was this a confession to her? Zhao Yun shook her head. Maybe she had misunderstood and was narcissistic. Mu Yanfeng had so many women around him, and there were so many beauties. With so many beauties around him, and her looks were so ordinary. Would Mu Yanfeng take a fancy to her? It wasn't that he wasn't confident, but sometimes it was better to be realistic. Otherwise, there would be a misunderstanding and a joke. Mu. Young Master Mu, are you joking? Zhao Yun said with a smile. Joking? Miss Yun, why would I joke? I really like Daodu, and I think Daodu is very good. Why don't I take Daodu as my godson? Mu Yanfeng was still smiling as he said to Zhao Yun, Mu. Young Master Mu, you want to take Daodu as your godson? Zhao Yun asked with uncertainty. What was Mu Yanfeng's status? He was the heir. If he took Daodu as his godson, Daodu's status would rise along with Mu Yanfeng. Seeing that Zhao Yun didn't say anything, Mu Yanfeng thought that Zhao Yun didn't agree, so he asked again, what's wrong, Miss Yun? Does Miss Yun think that it's inappropriate for Daodu to take me as his godson? No, no. Zhao Yun hurriedly waved her hand. Then, young Master Mu, it's not a small matter to take in a godson. Do you need to discuss it with your family? Will it affect you in the future if you take in Daodu? After all, you're not married yet. Naturally, no one else can interfere with my decision. As long as Miss Yun agrees, there's no need to worry about anything else. Zhao Yun had no reason to refuse after hearing Mu Yanfeng's words. If Dao was willing, Mu Yanfeng was also willing. Was too. It's their family's family. That's right, they were at a disadvantage. Only Z's faces go, Er's eyes. He was just waiting for Zhao Yun, to nod. If Zhao Yun, refused, Dao would probably be sad again. Is. The corners of Mu Yanfeng's lips curled up slightly. That's good. Is there any ceremony needed for this? Zhao Yun, asked. The ceremony of the 21st century was probably different from the ancient times. She didn't know what to do in this era. Miss Yun, I'll do the ceremony when I get back to the Shizi's residence. All right then. Seeing that Zhao Yun, and Mu Yanfeng had reached an agreement, Dao wiped away the tears on his face with his tender little hands. Mother, father, Dao's mother, and father were very sweet, and it softened people's hearts. For some reason, Zhao Yun, still had a strange feeling. If Dao called her father like this every day, wouldn't people think that Mu Yanfeng was her man if they heard it? Mu Yanfeng patted Dao's head lovingly. It was rare for him to show fatherly love in his eyes. This kind of feeling was something he had never had before. Chapter 242. Dao won't be a fatherless child from now on, Dao is so happy. Dao said in a soft voice, his pair of beautiful eyes curved into crescents when he smiled. Mother, then is Uncle Mu considered mother's husband now? Uncle Mu is tall, handsome, and rich. Dao looked at Zhao Yun, with an innocent face. The corner of Zhao Yun's mouth twitched slightly. Children. Were they all so naive? Dao, it's true that your Uncle Feng is your godfather, but he has nothing to do with mother. Zhao Yun hurriedly clarified, afraid that Mu Yanfeng would misunderstand. Dao's words just now had already made her very embarrassed. She didn't know if Mu Yanfeng would laugh at her in his heart. She secretly glanced at Mu Yanfeng and found that the smile on his face had deepened. Her face slightly reddened. Zhao Yun hurriedly shifted her gaze away. Dao looked at Zhao Yun, with a puzzled expression. Mother, why is that? Uncle Feng is my father. Come, mother, you are my mother, so wouldn't Uncle Feng be mother's husband? Dao's deductive ability seemed very strong, but as a child, there were many things that he didn't understand. This. Dao, you can't count it like that. You recognize your Uncle Feng as your godfather, so that's between you and your Uncle Feng. If your Uncle Feng wants to become mother's husband, then mother must marry your Uncle Feng. Dao nodded as if he didn't fully understand. Zhao Yun, and Mu Yanfeng definitely wouldn't marry Mu Yanfeng just because Mu Yanfeng was his godfather. Of course, even if she was willing, Mu Yanfeng might not be willing. If Mu Yanfeng agreed, he had the support of the Shizi manor behind him. If those upper-class people knew that Mu Yanfeng had married a village woman, and a village woman with a child, they would probably object. Mother, in that case, won't it be fine if Uncle Feng marries you? Zhao Yun, was rendered speechless by Dao's words. How could this child think of such things? Was he really a 3-year-old child? Mu Yanfeng finally couldn't help but laugh. This smile was too beautiful. It was even more charming than a woman's. It had to be said that Mu Yanfeng's face had both the heroic spirit of a man and the beauty of a woman. He had never seen such a beautiful and exquisite face anywhere else. Mu Yanfeng's laughter made Zhao Yun, feel even more at a loss. Mu Yanfeng was probably laughing at her, right? If he was laughing at her, then so be it. Dao, this child, had probably already sold her out. Zhao Yun, was afraid that the image she left in Mu Yanfeng's heart would be that of a woman who loved money and handsome men. Although, in reality, she was more or less such a woman. This, Dao, you can't speak carelessly. Zhao Yun, said softly and patted Dao's head. Mother? Can't I? Dao looked at Zhao Yun, in confusion. Thinking that this matter should be discussed with Mu Yanfeng, she turned her head to Mu Yanfeng. She said to Mu Yanfeng, Uncle Feng, can you marry my mother? This way, Dao can have a father, and mother can also have a husband. Zhao Yun felt her face twitch fiercely again. Mu Yanfeng's mouth twitched slightly and said to Dao, Uncle Feng has no objections. You have to ask your mother. Chapter 243. The corner of Zhao Yun's mouth twitched violently. What kind of joke was this? Moreover, Zhao Yun did not like others to joke about this matter. Young Master Mu, stop teasing Dao. Children will be serious. Zhao Yun forced a smile. Miss Yun, do you think I'm teasing Dao? Isn't that so? Young Master Mu, could it be that you're serious? It shouldn't be, right? Yun still has self-awareness. A proud son of heaven like young Master Mu must marry a peerless beauty. How can someone like me enter young Master Mu's eyes? Moreover, I'm not proficient in the 4 arts. In short, it was just one sentence. She had no talent and no virtue. The difference between Mu Yanfeng and her was too big. It was impossible for the two of them to be together. Mu Yanfeng smiled and did not answer Zhao Yun's words. Zhao Yun did not know what Mu Yanfeng meant. However, he did not continue this topic, which made Zhao Yun breathe a sigh of relief. Dao, mother is going to change the dressing for your Uncle Feng. Zhao Yun said and began to change the topic. She was afraid that Dao would ask this again, which would only make her embarrassed. Oh, then mother will do it. Dao quickly retreated. Dao was still very concerned about Mu Yanfeng's injury. Zhao Yun twisted the towel in the basin and walked to the bed. Young Master Mu, can you take off your clothes? Or should I do it? I'll have to trouble Miss Yun. There was a trace of guilt in Mu Yanfeng's tone, but a trace of cunning flashed in his eyes. Zhao Yun had to bite the bullet and bandage Mu Yanfeng. After treating the wound, Zhao Yun hurriedly ran out of the room. I'm going to cook. Zhao Yun said in embarrassment. Looking at Zhao Yun's departing figure, the corners of Mu Yanfeng's lips curled up slightly. He said to Dao, it seems that your mother doesn't like me. What should I do? Dao gave Mu Yanfeng a comforting look. Uncle Feng, don't worry. I think my mother will definitely like you. Oh. You are so confident. Uncle Feng, you are tall, handsome and rich. Of course my mother likes you. Mu Yanfeng didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Will your mother like any other man who has these qualities? Dao's eyes turned. He thought for a moment and said, not really, Uncle Feng. Anyway, I think my mother will definitely like you in the future. Ha! Mu Yanfeng laughed heartily. I hope so. Zhao Yun was busy preparing dinner in the kitchen. Zhao Yun braised the chicken that she brought back and stir-fried some mushrooms that she had just brought back from the mountain. The pot of chicken and chicken soup was extremely delicious. She also stir-fried a few eggs with green peppers. It was very spicy. Then, she added a small vegetable. It was basically wild game. In the 21st century, it was something that couldn't be bought with money. There was rice in the pot that wasn't cooked yet. Zhao Yun was about to call the children to eat earlier when a familiar voice sounded in the kitchen. Sister Yun, this voice was very sweet. Zhao Yun took a while to react. Was this Xiao Hong calling her? Frowning slightly, Zhao Yun still came out of the kitchen. Sure enough, it was Xiao Hong standing at the door. Chapter 244. Zhao Yun walked over and saw a basket in Xiao Hong's hand. There seemed to be something in the basket. Zhao Yun caught a glimpse of a few eggs and became even more curious. Could it be that Xiao Hong had given her these things? What did that mean? Putting away the curiosity in her eyes, Zhao Yun walked up to Xiao Hong and asked, "Why are you here?" Zhao Yun's attitude was very cold. Zhao Yun felt that there was no need to be polite with Xiao Hong, who was a white lotus who had harmed her behind her back. Sister Yun, I'm here to send you something. Xiao Hong put on a smile in the face of Zhao Yun's coldness. Then, she handed the basket in her hand to Zhao Yun. Sister Yun, here are some eggs, 10 of them, and some brown sugar. Daodu is still young. Give it to Daodu to nourish his body. Sister Yun, saved me last time, but I didn't have the chance to thank you. From what Xiao Hong said, she seemed to be a kind-hearted person who knew how to repay kindness. But in fact, she was stabbing someone in the back. She really looked innocent and harmless, but her heart was like a snake. If others saw the things that Xiao Hong had sent over, they would indeed feel that it was good. 10 eggs was a rare thing in the countryside. But for Zhao Yun, she didn't think much of it now. Moreover, Xiao Hong had suddenly sent her these things. Who knew what she was up to? You can take it back. I don't lack it. Zhao Yun didn't even look at it, and coldly threw a sentence. Xiao Hong was slightly taken aback. Zhao Yun was obviously so poor, but she didn't even look at the eggs. It was strange. Sister Yun, what's wrong with you? Do you think that the things I gave you are too shabby? Xiao Hong pretended to be sad. Zhao Yun frowned in disgust. This woman was really good at pretending. Don't you understand human language? Or are we two different species? I said I don't need it. But... Xiao Hong bit her lower lip, looking sad. Xiao Hong, to be honest, there's no one else here. You don't have to pretend with me. You don't have to use your things to please me. I know what you've done. Zhao Yun sneered. She completely treated Xiao Hong as a clown, acting in front of her. Yet, she had seen through this show once again. A complicated expression appeared in Xiao Hong's eyes, and the smile on her lips seemed a little stiff. However, she continued to smile at Zhao Yun. Big Sister Yun. I don't know if you've heard some rumors or misunderstood me. I really didn't do anything to let you down. Little Sister Xiao Hong, I didn't say that you did anything to let me down. Why are you in such a hurry to explain? Or should I say, you're just giving yourself away. Xiao Hong hurriedly waved her hands. Big Sister Yun, that's not it. I'm just afraid that you'll misunderstand. You know that the women in our village are like this. They like to say things that don't exist. I know whether you did or not. I told you to stop pretending, so stop pretending. You must have something to say today, right? If you have something to say, just say it. Maybe I can agree. Zhao Yun sneered. Chapter 245. Xiao Hong's expression was a little ugly. She thought for a while and said, sigh, since Sister Yun says so, then I'll say it. I did come here today to ask Sister Yun for a favor. Then say it. Zhao Yun put her hands on her hips. She wanted to hear what Xiao Hong, this white lotus, wanted to say. Big Sister Yun, you also know that girls are more concerned about their own reputation. So I hope that Sister Yun won't spread the news that Lu San bullied me. Otherwise, people with ulterior motives will hear it and have other thoughts. After Xiao Hong finished speaking, Zhao Yun also understood. So this was what this woman was worried about. Interesting. No wonder she sent things over. It turned out that she was afraid that she would frame Zhao Yun in the first place. Then, Zhao Yun would use this matter to spread the news and retaliate. Zhao Yun finally saw how much Xiao Hong was scheming. However, she wanted to bribe her with such a small thing. Wouldn't that be letting Xiao Hong off too easily? Seeing that Zhao Yun didn't say anything and just smiled coldly, Xiao Hong was a little nervous. Sister Yun, can you promise me? I beg you, okay? Xiao Hong took a step forward. Zhao Yun hurriedly stepped back. Since this woman cared so much about her reputation, how could she disappoint her? One day, she would peel off this layer of skin on the surface. Do you think I'm you? Zhao Yun replied indifferently. However, this simple sentence shut Xiao Hong's mouth. Sister Yun, okay, don't pretend. Take your things and get out of here. Zhao Yun urged. Ah. Sister Yun, Xiao Hong was a little unwilling. However, looking at Zhao Yun's attitude, it was obvious that she didn't want to talk to her. Although she was worried that Zhao Yun would really sell her out, there was nothing she could do. Then, Big Sister Yun, I'll take my leave first. Xiao Hong said. He glanced at Zhao Yun, then turned around and prepared to leave. Suddenly, she heard laughter coming from Zhao Yun's house. Amidst the laughter, there was a man's voice. Xiao Hong felt that it was a little strange. Why was there a man's voice in Zhao Yun's room? Could it be that she brought some wild man back? It would be great if that was the case. If she was really caught, her crime would be even worse than seducing someone. A woman bringing a man back was a crime that could be sunk into the lake. Xiao Hong stretched her head towards Zhao Yun's house. Zhao Yun asked coldly, "What are you looking at?" "Sister Yun, I heard a man's voice. Is there a guest in your house?" Zhao Yun immediately understood. Xiao Hong probably heard Mu Yanfeng's voice. "What guest?" "My brother and son are in the house." "What's wrong?" As Zhao Yun spoke, she stood in front of Xiao Hong. Xiao Hong retracted her head. Then. "Okay then. Sister Yun, I'll take my leave." Just as Xiao Hong was about to leave, Zhao Yun saw Lu Lei walking over from not far away. An idea flashed through her mind. Since Xiao Hong, this white lotus, wanted to frame her, then she would let Xiao Hong know what it was like to be framed. An eye for an eye. Chapter 246. Ouch, Zhao Yun cried out in pain. Lu Lei saw it from afar and immediately ran over. "Yun, how are you? Are you okay?" Zhao Yun squeezed out a tear from her eye and said to Lu Lei, "I'm fine." Lu Lei frowned. How could she be fine after falling so hard? Of course, he didn't believe that Lu Lei would fall when he was fine. He seemed to have seen Xiao Hong push her just now. "Yun, how did you fall?" Lu Lei asked with a guess in his heart. "I fell down myself," Zhao Yun said, but she glanced at Xiao Hong. This feeling of wanting to cover up made Lu Lei even more certain that Xiao Hong pushed her. He turned to Xiao Hong coldly and said to her. "Xiao Hong, how many more times are you going to play such vicious tricks? How did Yun offend you? You've harmed her time and time again. The first time, you framed her for pushing you into the river, causing Yun to be misunderstood and scolded. The second time, you spread the rumor that Yun seduced Lu San, and Yun was scolded even more severely by the villagers. If she hadn't clarified it later, who knows what her reputation would have become in the future. Now, you pushed Yun, Just how vicious is your heart?" Lu Lei naturally knew that Xiao Hong was targeting Zhao Yun, because of him. Xiao Hong thought that the person he liked was Zhao Yun, so she kept targeting Zhao Yun, In that case, he was the one who had implicated Zhao Yun, Xiao Hong was taken aback by Lu Lei's sudden words. Her eyes instantly turned red. Was she such a woman in Lu Lei's eyes? Xiao Hong hurriedly said, "Brother Lu, no, I didn't push her." Xiao Hong wasn't stupid. She understood that Zhao Yun had framed her. This B*TCH actually knew how to frame others. Xiao Hong had never been wronged like this before, so she was naturally indignant. "Who else could it be but you? Are you saying that Yun'er is framing you?" "Big brother Lu, believe me. It was Zhao Yun who framed me. I didn't push her." Xiao Hong was a little anxious. After all, she liked Lu Lei. If Lu Lei misunderstood her as such a woman, Lu Lei probably wouldn't like her anymore. When Lu Lei's back was facing Xiao Hong, Zhao Yun revealed a smug smile to Xiao Hong, deliberately provoking Xiao Hong. As expected, Xiao Hong was so infuriated by Zhao Yun that she lost her rationality. She rushed to Zhao Yun and pointed at Zhao Yun's nose. B***tch, you framed me. Why did you frame me? Zhao Yun pretended to be scared and hid behind him. She looked very scared. Little sister Xiao Hong, when did I frame you? You speak with your conscience. I said something about being cold to you just now. Zhao Yun's tone sounded very aggrieved. However, there was a flash of slyness and smugness in her eyes. Seeing Xiao Hong's flustered and exasperated look was really satisfying. She should have known that a woman like Xiao Hong didn't care about other things. She only cared about Lu Lei's attitude. If Lu Lei's impression of her was any worse, it would be worse than beating her up. After all, no woman wanted to leave a bad impression in front of the man she loved. Chapter 247. Big Brother Lu. You. Why don't you believe me? Believe Zhao Yun, I really didn't push her. She deliberately fell down in front of you to make you think that I pushed her. Zhao Yun, what are you thinking? Xiao Hong felt like she was going crazy. How could she be so pitiful to be targeted by Zhao Yun, And Zhao Yun, really wasn't as soft and easy to bully as she thought. Enough. Lu Lei said coldly. Xiao Hong, I know better than you what kind of person Yun, is. I hope you won't hurt Yun, again. Otherwise, I won't be polite to you. Facing Lu Lei's coldness, Xiao Hong knew that Lu Lei didn't want to believe her at all. His heart was completely on Zhao Yun's side. Xiao Hong wasn't such a stupid woman. She knew that the more she didn't admit it, the more people would say that Zhao Yun framed her. Then, the more Lu Lei would side with Zhao Yun the more he would hate her. So now, she could only retreat in order to advance. She didn't want to fall out with Lu Lei. Zhao Yun, Xiao Hong glared at Zhao Yun, angrily. She gritted her teeth and then said to Lu Lei, Big Brother Lu, I'm sorry. I was too agitated. Maybe I accidentally pushed Sister Yun, I really didn't mean to hurt her. Sister Yun, is so nice. Why would I push her? Xiao Hong instantly became a pitiful white lotus again. Zhao Yun looked at Xiao Hong a few more times. It seemed that this woman was quite smart. She didn't force it. Knowing that Lu Lei didn't believe her, she softened and said that. Sure enough, Lu Lei's tightly furrowed brows relaxed a little. Lu Lei's emotions were quickly captured by Xiao Hong. Thinking that this method was feasible, Xiao Hong continued, Sister Yun, I really accidentally touched you. Can you forgive me? I'll be careful in the future. Lu Lei still somewhat believed that Xiao Hong really pushed her, but Xiao Hong's attitude made him feel that it was okay. Apologizing after bullying someone meant that he at least knew that he was in the wrong. Zhao Yun smiled coldly and said to Xiao Hong, Little sister Xiao Hong must be joking. How could I blame you? After all, you were careless. Just be more careful in the future. There was a warning in Zhao Yun's words. If Xiao Hong dared to provoke her again, her acting skills wouldn't be any worse than hers. If worst came to worst, she would accompany her to the end. She didn't believe that she couldn't win against a white lotus. Xiao Hong pursed her lips. Thank you, Sister Yun. I'll be careful next time. Xiao Hong looked at Lu Lei again. Seeing that Lu Lei's face was still cold, she sighed. She didn't know how Lu Lei would treat her in the future. She only hoped that this time, she wouldn't leave a bad impression in Lu Lei's heart. As for Zhao Yun, if she had the chance, she would definitely take revenge. Big Brother Lu, Big Sister Yun, if there's nothing else, I'll take my leave, Xiao Hong said. Zhao Yun pretended not to hear and ignored Xiao Hong. Lu Lei responded indifferently. His attitude was also very cold. Seeing that Xiao Hong had left, Lu Lei asked with concern, "Yun'er, how are you? Are your injuries serious?" "It's all my fault. If it weren't for me, Xiao Hong wouldn't have targeted you." Zhao Yun'er shook her head. "It's okay, Brother Lei. I just fell. I'm not injured." "Oh right, why did you come here?" Chapter 248. Of course, this was only one of the reasons. Another reason was that she wanted to come over and see Zhao Yun. She would only feel comfortable if she could see Zhao Yun from time to time. "I don't need any help here," Zhao Yun said. What she said was the truth, and she didn't want to have too much to do with Lu Lei. There was a trace of disappointment in Lu Lei's eyes. "No, Brother Lu, aren't you busy these days?" What's there to be busy about? There aren't many fields at home, so I finished them in a short while. I went to the mountains a few more times these days, but my luck wasn't very good. I didn't bring anything back." "It's okay, Brother Lei. Take it slow. It will be fine." Yes. Lu Lei nodded heavily. Only when he saved enough money would he have more ability to stand in front of Zhao Yun. Now that he didn't have the ability, he couldn't say a lot of things and couldn't guarantee it. The smell of cooked rice floated in the house. Zhao Yun thought that it was time to eat, but she didn't want to keep Lu Lei. It was even more embarrassing to drive him away. She looked at Lu Lei awkwardly and said to him, "Brother Lei, we have to eat. Do you want to stay and eat?" Zhao Yun was just being polite. Lu Lei waved his hand. "No, I'll go back and heat up the dishes myself. Yun you guys eat." She wanted to eat, so he couldn't continue to stay. He had to leave. Looking at Lu Lei's back, Zhao Yun breathed a sigh of relief. She turned around and prepared to go into the house to move the table out. In the house, Mu Lianfeng retracted his gaze from the crack of the door and quickly lay down on the bed. Naturally, he saw the series of things that Zhao Yun did just now. Mu Lianfeng's mouth held a smile. He was more and more interested in Zhao Yun. It seemed that Zhao Yun was still a little different from what he knew. This woman was very interesting. She would occasionally play tricks, but in his eyes, he felt that she was abnormally cute. Sometimes it was good for women to be like this. He had seen too many innocent and harmless flowers that needed to be protected. He admired Zhao Yun'er even more. At least others wouldn't bully her too much. As soon as Zhao Yun entered the room, she saw Mu Lianfeng lying on the bed thoughtfully. She hurriedly moved the table out and ate in the courtyard later. Even if it was Chen Erwa, Zhao Yun still didn't want Mu Lianfeng to be seen by others. After moving the table out, Zhao Yun'er called the children to start eating. When the dishes were served, Chen Erwa's eyes were glued to them. How could there be such good dishes? He had never eaten anything like this before. "Come on, hurry up and eat. It won't taste good when it's cold," Zhao Yun'er said. The three children leaned over the table and didn't feel too restrained. At first, Chen Erwa was embarrassed. But seeing Daodu and Zhao Tianfu eating happily, he slowly let go and began to eat. The pheasant was even more delicious with mushrooms. Whether it was meat or mushrooms, it was so delicious that they wanted to swallow their tongues. Zhao Yun'er let the children eat first. She scooped a bowl of rice, picked up some food, and brought it to Mu Lianfeng. Mu Lianfeng continued to lie on the bed to rest. After Zhao Yun'er came in, she immediately closed the door. "Gongzi Mu, it's time to eat." Zhao Yun'er's clear voice sounded. Chapter 249. At this moment, only Zhao Yun and Mu Lianfeng were left in the room, and the atmosphere became ambiguous again. Zhao Yun knew that Mu Lianfeng still needed some time to recover from the injury on his hand, so she personally fed Mu Lianfeng. When Mu Lianfeng was in the Shitzi estate, he didn't eat a lot of game. Moreover, The game prepared by the Shitsi Estate's chef wasn't even half as good as Zhao Yun's. This meal, Mu Yanfeng enjoyed it very much, and he only said that he was full after eating 2 big plates. After feeding Mu Yanfeng, Zhao Yun was about to go eat by herself, when Mu Yanfeng suddenly called out to Zhao Yun, Miss Yun, what's wrong? Miss Yun, were you and Daodu often bullied in the village? Mu Yanfeng suddenly asked. Zhao Yun felt that Mu Yanfeng's question was a little strange. After all, she didn't understand why he would ask such a question. It's all right, Zhao Yun's mouth twitched. Zhao Yun was pitiful in the past, but she wasn't. After she replaced the original owner, she wasn't as easy to bully as before. Did Daodu's father really pass away, or did he leave? Why isn't he by your side? Daodu said that he hasn't seen him since he was young. Mu Yanfeng remembered that Zhao Yun had said that Daodu's father had passed away, but after observing for a while and hearing Daodu's words, he more or less understood. Daodu's father probably wasn't really dead, and this irresponsible man got Zhao Yun pregnant and then abandoned her. He didn't even care about his own son. He really looked down on this kind of man. Why are you asking this, young Master Mu? Zhao Yun replied. Zhao Yun's emotions could not be heard from her tone. I'm just asking. Mu Yanfeng pursed his lips and looked at Zhao Yun with a trace of heartache. It was only when he truly lived with Zhao Yun that he understood how difficult it was for Zhao Yun to raise a child alone. Not to mention the living conditions, this weirdo would come knocking on his door every 2 to 3 days. It was really tiring. In the end, Zhao Yun was still a woman. Without a man by her side, others would think that she was easy to bully. If she had a man by her side to protect her, she wouldn't have to suffer so much. Zhao Yun was silent for a moment, then a bitter smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. You may not believe it, but it's true. I don't know who Daodu's father is either. Mu Yanfeng was surprised for a moment. He knew that there must be something going on here. Zhao Yun didn't say anything, so he couldn't ask in detail. Then, Miss Yun, have you ever thought of remarrying? If you remarry, Daodu will really have a father, and you and your son will have a guarantee for your lives, Mu Yanfeng continued. Zhao Yun felt that Mu Yanfeng's question was getting stranger and stranger. What did he mean by this? Young Master Mu, what kind of man do you think I can find with my conditions? If I marry a worse man, wouldn't my life be ruined? I think it's pretty good now. With Daodu, as long as I work hard in the future, my life will definitely get better and better. Don't you think so, young Master Mu? Zhao Yun said this to show her strength. Chapter 250. Mu Yanfeng also smiled at Zhao Yun and nodded, agreeing with Zhao Yun's words. He really wanted to tell Zhao Yun that he was actually willing to marry her and take good care of them. He didn't say this sentence because he wasn't sure. After all, he didn't have complete control over his marriage. If he agreed early and couldn't fulfill it in the end, he was afraid that Zhao Yun would be disappointed. The next day, Zhao Yun went to Yang City to deliver bullfrogs. This time, the quantity was even smaller. Yesterday, she brought Zhao Tianfu and Daodu up the mountain, so the 2 children didn't catch many bullfrogs. It was probably less than 5 kilograms. She didn't know if Sun Zhongquan would say anything if she sent it. But today, she sent less bullfrogs. Tomorrow, she should be able to send more over. Aunt Lu had already arranged for her son to go to a few nearby villages to give instructions. Today, they would go to purchase them. In total, there should be a lot of bullfrogs. What surprised Zhao Yun was that when she went to Yang City today, Qin Hailan came again. It was really a little abnormal for her to enter the city for 2 consecutive days. This time, Qin Hailan also carried a basket on her back. There seemed to be something in it. It was covered with a piece of cloth, so Zhao Yun couldn't see anything. There was a sense of uneasiness in her heart. She felt that Qin Hailan came to Yang City for her. Zhao Yun couldn't find any evidence, and it wasn't convenient for her to question. She stared at Qin Hailan's basket for a while. Qin Hailan glared at Zhao Yun unhappily. What are you staring at my basket for? Qin Hailan's tone was tough, but a trace of guilt flashed in her eyes. Can't I look around? Did he steal it from you or rob it from you? Zhao Yun also replied unhappily. Zhao Yun don't be stubborn. Qin Hailan huffed. I'm too lazy to argue with you. Zhao Yun rolled her eyes at Qin Hailan and looked away. When they reached Yang City, Zhao Yun got off the ox cart and went straight to the restaurant. He gave Bullfrog to Sun Zhongquan. Sun Zhongquan looked at the things Zhao Yun sent over and couldn't help but sigh. Miss Yun, the bullfrogs are selling better and better, but you're sending less and less bullfrogs. This is really making things difficult for me. They ordered so much every day. Even if they didn't ask Zhao Yun to send more, they couldn't possibly send less. Shopkeeper, I'm sorry. I didn't deliver enough today. I'll definitely be able to send more tomorrow. Zhao Yun said somewhat apologetically. She could understand Sun Zhongquan's difficulties. If she could send more, she would definitely want to send more. After all, the more she gave, the more money she could earn. This thing was priced by weight. She wasn't so stupid that she didn't know how to earn money. Sun Zhongquan didn't know if Zhao Yun was telling the truth or just comforting words. He could only sigh and shake his head. All right then. Miss Yun, I hope you can send more. Sun Zhongquan gave Zhao Yun the money, and Zhao Yun left the restaurant. Not long after Zhao Yun left, Qin Hailan strolled to the front of the restaurant. She wanted to go in, but was stopped by the restaurant's waiter. Qin Hailan was dressed in rags. It was obvious that she was someone who couldn't afford to spend money in the restaurant. The waiter wouldn't casually let people into such a high-class restaurant. Qin Hailan naturally didn't think of this situation, but she had an idea. She said to the waiter, "Little brother, Zhao Yun asked me to come. Do you know Zhao Yun Chapter 251. As waiters of the restaurant, they all understood how the business of the restaurant became so popular. If it weren't for Zhao Yun sending bullfrog over as the main dish of their restaurant, how could the business suddenly become so popular? Little brother, Zhao Yun asked me to come over. Qin Hailan smiled embarrassedly. The restaurant waiter looked at Qin Hailan suspiciously and replied, Yun just left. How could she ask you to come over? If you came over, shouldn't the two of you be together? This. Little brother, wasn't I delayed by something? I have something to send over. Your shopkeeper will know when he sees it. The restaurant waiter didn't think too much. Anyway, it was fine to let this woman see the shopkeeper. So he said faintly, then come in. Follow behind me. Don't run around. Got it. Qin Hailan followed the restaurant waiter and entered the restaurant. She had been staying in the countryside, so she didn't know much. It was the first time she came to such a luxurious place. She couldn't help but sigh. The rich people in this city were so good. They could even come to such a good place to eat. Naturally, this place was so luxurious. Zhao Yun came here. She probably made a lot of money here. But it didn't matter. When she did this business, there would be an endless amount of money waiting for her to earn in the future. The restaurant waiter brought Qin Hailan to see Sun Zhongquan. Sun Zhongquan glanced at the woman who didn't have any special features and asked faintly, "What are you here for?" "Shopkeeper, I want to do business with you," Qin Hailan said with a smile. Her smile seemed to be trying to curry favor with the shopkeeper. Sun Zhongquan didn't drive her away immediately this time. Instead, he listened to what Qin Hailan wanted to do. "Say it." "Shopkeeper, I want to sell you something. It's the same as what Zhao Yun sent over." Qin Hailan said and quickly took out the thing in the basket. Then she put it in front of Sun Zhongquan. "Shopkeeper, this thing is called bullfrog, right? Take a look. Is it the same as what Zhao Yun sent over?" Sun Zhongquan glanced at it. It really was a bullfrog that had been peeled. It was the same one that Zhao Yun had sent over. Sun Zhongquan's heart was filled with joy. His restaurant lacked such things, so the more people gave him, the better. How could he not accept it? Sun Zhongquan suppressed the excitement in his heart and calmly talked business with Qin Hailan, showing that he didn't want to buy it. "This sister-in-law, your gift is indeed the same as Miss Yuner's gift. However, I have signed a contract with Miss Yuner beforehand. I will only accept gifts from her." Qin Hailan understood what Sun Zhongquan meant. It wasn't easy for her to come across a chance to make money. How could she let it go? Thus, she began to torment Sun Zhongquan. "Shopkeeper, you see, although you've signed the document, you've accepted my things. If you don't say anything and I don't say anything, Zhao Yun won't know. So, how much did Zhao Yun give her? Just give me half of it." Qin Hailan lowered the price very much. She really didn't know the price that Sun Zhongquan gave to Zhao Yun. Sun Zhongquan listened and pondered for a moment. Lowering the price by half would save him a lot of costs. In addition, the amount that Zhao Yun sent over was not enough. All in all, he made a profit. Chapter 252. Qin Hailan was overjoyed and kept saying, "Manager, thank you. You're really a good man." Sun Zhongquan curled his lips and smiled meaningfully. This was because other restaurants didn't know the practice of bullfrogs. If Qin Hailan sent it to other restaurants would probably pay a higher price if they knew it was bullfrogs. Sun Zhongquan thought for a moment and said to Qin Hailan, "If you have any goods in the future, just send it to me. Don't go to other restaurants to ask. No one will buy it except me." Qin Hailan also thought carefully and believed Sun Zhongquan's words. This was not a good thing. There were a lot of bullfrogs in the countryside. If they could be sold everywhere, wouldn't they have been snatched up long ago? She guessed that every family in the village had gone to catch them. "Got it, manager. I'll definitely send it to you as soon as I have it," Qin Hailan said with a smile. Well, come with me. Let's settle the bill," Sun Zhongquan said. "Okay." Qin Hailan excitedly followed Sun Zhongquan's steps. Qin Hailan had a total of 12 caddies of bullfrogs left, so Sun Zhongquan settled the bill for 120 coins. When Sun Zhongquan handed the money to Qin Hailan was suddenly stunned. She counted and found that there were 120 coins in total. That was to say, the price of bullfrogs was still 20 coins per caddy. She had discounted half of the price, so there were 10 coins. She didn't expect that this thing, which no one in the countryside wanted, would be so expensive. It was unbelievable. It seemed that during this period, Zhao Yun, that little bitch, had made a lot of money by selling bullfrogs. Fortunately, she was smart enough to dig out what Zhao Yun had done from little Sheba of her family. Although the price given to her by the restaurant was not as high as the price given to Zhao Yun, she could still make a lot of money. She would catch more bullfrogs later. With a few hundred coins in her account every day, she could make several taels of silver in a few months. How could there be such a way to earn money in the countryside? Working hard in the fields all year round, in the end, the harvest would probably not even amount to a few taels of silver. Qin Hailan happily accepted the money Sun Zhongquan handed over. She stuffed it into her pocket and left the restaurant. After getting so much money at once, Qin Hailan didn't want to treat herself unfairly. She hurried to the market and bought more things. Zhao Yun came out of the restaurant and went to the shops on the street. She looked around to see if there was anyone selling quilts. The blankets in the house were already very thin to begin with. She and Daodu couldn't even cover themselves with them. Mu Yanfeng was sleeping with them, so the blankets were even thinner. It was too cold at night, so she couldn't help but lean closer to Mu Yanfeng. Zhao Yun'er was afraid that if she slept soundly tonight and woke up in Mu Yanfeng's arms the next day, it would be awkward. In ancient times, quilts were made of cotton balls. Generally, people who grew their own cotton at home could send their cotton to be processed and made into quilts for a processing fee. There were also ready-made quilts that were bought directly. Fortunately, the business in Yang City was prosperous and there were all kinds of things. Quilts were also easy to buy. However, quilts were not sold in the new street, but in some shops in remote locations. Zhao Yun'er searched for a long time before she found it. After entering the shop, she found that the business was very quiet and few people came. Chapter 253. Those who wanted to buy a quilt now were probably like Zhao Yun'er. Their families were in a hurry to use it. Also, on normal days, when the family held a wedding, the slightly wealthier families would buy a few new quilts for their daughter's dowry. Apart from winter, this was how the business of the quilt shop came about. After Zhao Yun entered the house, an old lady in her 50s or 60s came over. She went up to Zhao Yun'er with a smile and asked if she wanted to buy a quilt. "Granny, what's the price of your quilt?" Zhao Yun'er asked. The old lady chuckled and said, "Little girl, there are a total of 3 quilt shops in Yang City. Don't worry, my shop is the cheapest. If you don't believe me, you can go to the other 2 shops and ask for the price." As the old lady spoke, she brought Zhao Yun'er to look at her quilt. She pointed at the quilt and said to Zhao Yun'er, "This quilt is new. It's made from the cotton that was just harvested this year. It's warm. It's 22 copper coins per caddy. This one is made from last year's cotton. It's 20 copper coins per caddy. Miss, take a look. Do you want to buy this year's new quilt or last year's?" Zhao Yun'er stared at the quilt for a while. The quilt was made at a different time, but they were all new. The white quilt was obviously very warm. When Zhao Yun heard the old lady's words, she felt that she was doing business with integrity. After all, if she didn't say it out loud, who knew if it was made this year or last year? A caddy of quilt cost so much. There were both thick and thin quilts here. There were 5 caddies, 7 caddies, and 10 caddies. Zhao Yun'er planned to buy 3 quilts to bring back. 1 for the bottom, 1 for the top, and 1 for the top. Then, she would buy a thin one. When the weather became warmer, she could change out the thick quilt and cover the thin one. 7 caddies of quilts would be enough. 1 for the thick and 1 for the thin ones, which added up to a total of 22 caddies. "Granny, get me this year's new quilt. I want this, this, and this." Zhao Yun'er pointed at the quilt. The old lady smiled and said, "Okay, okay, okay. I'll get it for you." The old lady folded the 3 quilts neatly and tied them together with a thick rope. "Miss, this is good. Can you carry it?" The old lady looked at Zhao Yun'er's thin and small body. She didn't look like someone who could carry things, so she asked with some concern. Zhao Yun'er lifted it a little. 22 kilograms was not too heavy for her. She could carry it with one hand. "I can carry it. Grandma, you don't have to worry about me." The old lady nodded. "That's good. Then, young lady, please settle the bill. This new quilt costs 22 copper coins per caddy. That's a total of 22 caddies, so it's 484 copper coins. Young lady, since you've bought 3 beds at once, I'll charge you 460 copper coins." It was a discount of 24 copper coins. This could be considered a great discount. Just as Zhao Yun'er was about to say thank you, a woman rushed out from the inner room and scolded the old lady. "You damned old lady. I just went to the courtyard to take a dump. I let you take a look. Is this how you do business? All of a sudden, we're short of 24 copper coins. How can we continue to run this shop? Do you really think that money comes from nowhere? The woman scolded a bunch of unpleasant words. The old lady stood in the corner and didn't dare to speak. She was trembling with fear. Chapter 254. The woman's face was sallow and full of pockmarks. She looked disgusting. Plus, when she scolded her, her saliva flew everywhere. Zhao Yun had only seen such a person in novels. She didn't expect such a person to exist in real life. Zhao Yun looked at the old lady sympathetically. Everyone had to be filial. It was a little sad to meet an unfilial wife. Looking at the old lady's reaction, she was probably used to being bullied by this woman. After the woman scolded her, she heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, the old lady didn't talk back. Otherwise, she would definitely scold her again. Zhao Yun stopped looking at her sympathetically and said to the woman indifferently, "Are you still selling this quilt or not?" The woman glanced at Zhao Yun and said, "I'm selling it, but it's still 484 copper coins. I can't give you such a huge discount." It was obvious that this woman was greedy. Since the old lady was willing to give her a discount of 24 copper coins. That was on the basis that she could make money. Seeing that Zhao Yun didn't say anything, the woman said again, "In Yang City, there's no one selling it cheaper than us. If you don't want to buy it, forget it." The woman's arrogant attitude made Zhao Yun a little unhappy. What kind of person was this? How could business be like this? No wonder this shop's quilt was cheap, but not many people came. There must be a reason. The old lady couldn't help but say, "Kai Feng, the price we agreed on is changed just like that. That's not very good, is it? We have to be honest when doing business. Why don't we waive the 24 copper coins for this lady?" "You old hag, you still have the cheek to say that. You said the money, not me. When did I agree to waive the 24 copper coins? You blindly raised the price without my consent. When the family runs out of money, go out and earn it." The woman called Kai Feng by the old lady started scolding again. The old lady didn't say anything, but she looked at Zhao Yun apologetically. After all, he felt sorry for Zhao Yun for not honoring the agreed price. However, it was only 24 copper coins. Zhao Yun really didn't care about that much. If the old lady was scolded for such a small amount of money, Zhao Yun would feel bad in her heart. Thus, he said to Kai Feng, "That's enough. I didn't say that I wouldn't give it to you." As Zhao Yun spoke, she took out 16 copper coins from the string of money and threw the rest to Kai Feng. Kai Feng counted carefully and said to Zhao Yun, "The money is right. You can take the things." Zhao Yun carried the quilt over her shoulder. Before she left, she snorted at Kai Feng and said, "Auntie, this is the first time I've seen you do business like this. No wonder you sell things at a low price and your business is not good. Ordinary people are not willing to come here. Also, being filial to your elders is something that even children understand. You're so old, yet you don't do it. How interesting. However, it doesn't matter. I'm sure you have a son. Now that you treat me like this, your son and daughter-in-law will definitely learn from you in the future. When that time comes, you'll end up in the same miserable state. Sigh, I say, little girl, you're quite a busybody, aren't you? Don't you know how to talk?" Kai Feng said as she rolled up her sleeves, wanting to teach Zhao Yun a lesson. The old lady pulled Kai Feng back immediately. "Kai Feng, don't be impulsive. Chapter 255. She hoped that she would not encounter such things in the future. Otherwise, she would probably want to meddle in it again. Zhao Yun went to the market to buy some meat and vegetables. The vegetables at home had not grown yet. She could not keep eating other people's vegetables. The cheapest vegetables she bought in Yang City only cost 1 copper coin. It was still very cost-effective. After buying the vegetables, Zhao Yun was ready to go back. Suddenly, there was a crowd in front of her. Zhao Yun saw that it was still early, so she went over with the mentality of watching a show. Squeezing into the crowd, she saw a man in his 20s flirting with a girl. The girl was only in her teens. She looked very delicate and pretty. Beside the girl was an old man. He looked very sick. There were a few attendants behind the man. Judging from his clothes, he should be relatively rich. But his appearance was really a little indescribable. He had a face full of pockmarks. His eyes were so small that they could not be seen. He also had a mouth full of buck teeth. His body was thin and short. At first glance, he looked very ugly. Zhao Yun asked the people who were watching the show at the side. She asked, "What happened?" "Sai, I heard that this old man lost money in gambling. Then, he owed this young master 50 taels of silver. Now that he can't change the money, the other party wants to capture the old man's daughter and use her to repay the debt." Zhao Yun nodded. The legal system in ancient times was not as perfect as the current one. Generally, when one owed money, it was very normal to use the family's children to repay the debt. So it was best not to get involved in gambling. Otherwise, it was very likely that the family would be ruined. This old man looked pitiful, but also hateful. If it were not for his actions back then, his daughter would not be like this. The man's subordinates lifted the girl up and looked like they were going to drag her away. The girl cried like an apricot flower in the rain. She looked very pitiful as she shouted at the old man on the ground. "Father, father, save me." The old man was so anxious that he began to cry. He said to the man, "Young Master Meng, when did I owe you 50 taels of silver? This old man has never gambled for so many years." "I've never gambled. I just wanted to live a good life with my little Feng But this young Master Meng took a fancy to my little Feng and wanted to buy her as a concubine. I didn't agree. After all, I only have one daughter. No matter what, I can't let her suffer such grievances in the future. That's why Lord Meng framed me for losing 50 taels of silver in his bank." Saying that, the old man sobbed. He wiped the tears from the corners of his eyes and continued, "Everyone, please help me. I don't want my daughter to be ruined like this." After the old man finished speaking, the crowd began to discuss. Some people who knew the old man said, "Uncle Chen is a very honest man. I've never seen him gamble before. It seems that this matter is really strange. Does that mean that young Master Meng used this as an excuse to steal Uncle Chen's daughter? Right? Uncle Chen is so pitiful. Why don't we help him?" Chapter 256. That's true. If we offend young Master Meng, we won't be able to survive in Yang City anymore. Many people sympathized with Uncle Chen, but facing young Master Meng, they were afraid of causing trouble for themselves, so they didn't go forward. Young Master Meng's subordinate walked up to Uncle Chen and grabbed him by the collar. "You old bastard, what nonsense are you talking about? Our young master said that you owe 50 taels of silver, so you owe 50 taels of silver." Uncle Chen's thin and weak body couldn't compare to those trained subordinates. Zhao Yun was instantly enraged. Damn it, this was robbing a woman on the street. Originally, she was afraid of causing trouble and didn't want to interfere, but she couldn't control her impulse. She was a police officer, and had been a police officer for many years. Some habits weren't easy to change. In her eyes, this was no different from the trouble in the 21st century. If she didn't stop it, she was afraid that someone would die. Zhao Yun stood up and grabbed Meng Gongzi's subordinate's hand. With a backhand pull, she threw him away. She threw him away and saved Uncle Chen. Zhao Yun pulled Chenbo down. With her skills, she thought about it. Meng Gongzi's men didn't seem to be easy to deal with. If several people beat her, she estimated that she wouldn't be able to hold on. Young Master Meng's attention was attracted by the person who suddenly appeared. He saw Zhao Yun's skills just now. It was rare for a woman to be so powerful. Moreover, her movements were exceptionally cool. When he looked at Zhao Yun's face, she was also a delicate and pretty girl. She looked even prettier than Uncle Chen's daughter. Young Master Meng touched his chin and was instantly interested in Zhao Yun. Originally, a few subordinates wanted to go forward and grab Zhao Yun, but they were stopped by young Master Meng. Don't do anything. Stand there obediently. This young master hasn't said anything yet. If you scare the little girl, you'll suffer. Young Master Meng scolded his subordinates. Yes, master. After reprimanding his subordinates, young Master Meng smiled at Zhao Yun and asked, Young lady, what are you doing here? Contrary to Zhao Yun's expectations, this young Master Meng was actually very polite to her. Frowning, Zhao Yun said coldly, Of course I couldn't stand it anymore. That's why I came over to ask. Why are you bullying people like this? Do you think you can steal someone else's daughter just because you're rich and powerful? Young lady, what you're saying is wrong. What do you mean that I'm relying on my wealth and power to snatch someone else's daughter? That's because this old man owes me 50 taels of silver. Now that he doesn't have the money to pay it back, isn't it right to compensate for his daughter? Young Master Meng raised his eyebrows and patiently explained to Zhao Yun. You said that he owes you 50 taels of silver, so he owes you 50 taels of silver. Everything requires evidence. If you can take out the documents in front of everyone, you can naturally take this person away. Zhao Yun said. Young Master Meng smiled. His smile was somewhat despicable. He carefully looked at Zhao Yun. So many people didn't stand up for him, but this woman did. Her words were clear and organized. She was really an interesting person. Chapter 257. Go back with him to take a look. Zhao Yun was not stupid. How could she be willing to do that? If she really went, who knew what kind of danger would be waiting for her? Why aren't you saying anything? Are you unwilling? I've shown you the evidence, but you don't even want to look at it. What else can I say? Young Master Meng, you have money and power. You can make a dead person alive. What else can I say? However, please be magnanimous and let go of the innocent girl. You're so rich. What kind of girl can't you buy with money? You don't have to hold on to her and not let her go, right? Zhao Yun could only persuade from another angle. She knew in her heart that if he really needed evidence, this young Master Meng could also forge one. Young Master Meng was originally interested in Uncle Chen's daughter. Now that he saw Uncle Chen's daughter crying, his interest immediately disappeared. There were many such women in his family. If he took them back, he would probably be annoyed in the end. On the contrary, Zhao Yun was very interesting. If he married her as a concubine, it should be something special. Young Master Meng smiled and said to Zhao Yun, Since you said so, then we'll do as you say. As young Master Meng spoke, he called his subordinates to release Feng, who was trapped. Zhao Yun was slightly surprised for a moment. She felt strange in her heart. This man was so easy to talk to. A sense of conspiracy emerged in Zhao Yun's heart. Feng jumped in front of Uncle Chen and began to cry in Uncle Chen's arms. Father, Feng don't be afraid. Father is here. Uncle Chen patted Feng's back. Young Master Meng came in front of Zhao Yun and said with a smile, Young Master, are you satisfied with this? Zhao Yun looked at young Master Meng suspiciously and said faintly, You won't go back and continue to make trouble for them, right? Young Master, this young master will definitely not go back on his words. If I let her go, I'll let her go. How will I have the time to go again in the future? Zhao Yun looked at young Master Meng's expression and felt that he wasn't lying. However, what Zhao Yun could not understand was why things had changed so quickly. She had come all the way here to snatch him away, and all she did was say a few words, and he was going to let him go. Thank you, young Master Meng. Uncle Qin took Feng Er's hand and thanked young Master Meng. Now that he had said that he would let them go, it would be too late if they didn't leave now. Thinking about it, they couldn't stay in Sun City any longer. This time, they would pack up and leave. Even if young Master Meng wanted to snatch her away, he wouldn't be able to find them. After the father and daughter left, Zhao Yuner breathed a sigh of relief. Now, she was sure that there was no problem. Zhao Yuner also intended to leave, but was stopped by young Master Meng. Zhao Yuner frowned warily and asked, "What do you want?" "Little girl, I've done as you said and let him go. Can't we have a little chat?" Zhao Yuner retorted in annoyance, "Talk about what? What do we have to talk about?" Zhao Yuner's cold and slightly arrogant personality made young Master Meng like her even more. His desire to conquer Zhao Yuner also grew stronger. Naturally, young Master Meng knew that he couldn't force a woman like Zhao Yuner. She was very stubborn. If he forced her, he was afraid that Zhao Yuner might even commit suicide. If she died, there wouldn't be any meaning. Chapter 258. Zhao Yuner snorted coldly in her heart. He was not a bad person. Would she believe him? "Young Master Meng, that's just how I am. Don't treat me like an outsider. If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave." Zhao Yuner turned around. Young Master Meng knew that Zhao Yuner was most likely going to ignore him, and he could not stop her. If he wanted to conquer this woman, he would have to take his time. Anyway, he had plenty of time. "Miss, before you leave, can you tell me your name? We're not familiar with each other, so it's not convenient for me to tell you." Zhao Yuner said arrogantly and turned around. She only heaved a sigh of relief when she was far away. Fortunately, young Master Meng did not follow her. When she returned to the village, it was close to noon. Zhao Yuner realized that Liang Jinxiao had come over. Her heart could not help but tighten. Did Liang Jinxiao enter her house? If he entered the house, wouldn't he see Mu Yanfeng in her house? Zhao Yuner braced herself and walked over. Liang Jinxiao and a few other children were sitting on a big rock in the courtyard. Daodu was snuggling in Liang Jinxiao's arms. "Mother, why are you here?" Zhao Yuner walked over and asked. "Nothing big. We're having a wedding in 2 days. Your grandfather asked me to come over and inform you. You can attend the wedding then." Zhao Yuner was curious. "Mother, is there a wedding in our old Zhao family?" "They're having a wedding." Liang Jinxiao nodded and said, "It's your eldest cousin brother, Zhao Tianlong." Now that he was married, what other joyous occasion was there to celebrate? Liang Jinxiao then explained, "Your eldest cousin brother has fought for our old Zhao family this time. He was selected by the academy and will be sent to the capital to further his studies in half a month. I have an 80% chance of becoming a high scholar in this year's imperial examinations." The study that Liang Jinxiao mentioned was a policy of Yangqing County. In order to nurture talents, Yangqing County would hold an advanced study every year. A few talents would be selected from all the academies in Yangqing County and sent to the capital. They would find the best teachers there and undergo a few months of intensive training before the examination. Normally, there would be a limited number of places in the academies. Most academies might not even be able to accommodate one person. However, once selected and trained in the capital, the chances of becoming a high scholar would be greatly increased. Many people in Sun City had passed the imperial examination and become a high scholar through this round of advanced studies. Then, they rose through the ranks and made a fortune. Who would have thought that Zhao Tianlong would have some ability? Come to think of it, she had never seen Zhao Tianlong with her own eyes after coming to this world for so long. "All right, Mother, I'll go to the wedding banquet." Liang Jinxiao nodded and then asked about Zhao Yuner's situation. He only relaxed after confirming that Zhao Yuner's family was doing well. "Oh right, Yun, it's a good thing that your eldest cousin brother is studying. The government will pay for part of the expenses, but you have to pay for it too. You have to prepare at least 20 taels of silver for your eldest cousin brother when the time comes. Now that he has to study for Tianfu, the family is in a mess. So, the farm work at home is almost done. Your father is preparing to go to Sun City with Tianan to find some odd jobs. Mother, won't it be too tiring? How old was Xiao Tianan? He was still a child. How could he do so much work? It's okay. If he stays at home, the chores at home will be too tiring. Why don't he go to Sun City to work? He can even keep the other families in check. Chapter 259. She also felt that it was good to go out. In old Zhao's house, the third branch had done the most work. Liang Jinxiao relaxed for a while, then got up and left. After Liang Jinxiao walked away, she didn't mention Mu Yanfeng. Zhao Yun, breathed a sigh of relief. Zhao Yun, asked the two children, didn't Grandma go into the house? Daodu raised his little face and said sweetly to Zhao Yun, Mom, Grandma was going to go in, but Daodu stopped her. Daodu knows that even Grandma can't see Daddy. Daodu was already used to calling Mu Yanfeng Daddy. Zhao Yun, touched Daodu's head and nodded. Daodu is the best. Hee. Let's go in. Zhao Yun held the two children's hands and went in. Mu Yanfeng was lying on the bed. As soon as he saw Zhao Yun, there was a smile in his eyes. Yun, why do I feel like I've been hidden in a house? Mu Yanfeng's tone was a little flirtatious. Mr. Mu, you're considered a girl, but my shabby house is not a house. Your analogy is a little inappropriate. Seeing Zhao Yun's serious tone, Mu Yanfeng couldn't help but smile. Yun, why are you so serious? I'm just joking. Zhao Yun found that her thoughts had completely caught up with Mu Yanfeng's rhythm. After lunch and a short rest, Zhao Yun took the two children to catch bullfrogs in the field. She wanted to save more money now. After hearing what Mu Yanfeng said today, she thought of her shabby house and really needed to build a new one. She didn't have the ability to pay dozens of taels of silver now. These days, there were fewer and fewer children helping to catch bullfrogs. Zhao Yun found that these children didn't help her catch bullfrogs, but they caught them themselves. The field was only so big. Zhao Yun still bumped into Qin Hailan. Qin Hailan also took Gooden to catch bullfrogs, and the children directly gave the bullfrogs to Qin Hailan. Looking at the bullfrogs in Qin Hailan's basket, they probably weighed 20 to 30 kilograms. Zhao Yun's brows couldn't help but twist. This was already very obvious. It was most likely that Qin Hailan got the information about her catching bullfrog from Gooden's mouth. But if Qin Hailan got her hands on the bullfrog, where did she sell it to? Seeing Zhao Yun coming over, Qin Hailan still caught the bullfrogs openly without any guilt. Hey, sister-in-law, what are you catching? Asked Zhao Yun. Qin Hailan glanced at Zhao Yun and snorted. Don't you know what I'm catching? Why do you ask when you already know the answer? Zhao Yun curved her lips. I just don't know how you know how to catch them. Did you learn from me? Zhao Yun's words made Qin Hailan a little flustered and exasperated. Learn from you? Why can't I catch bullfrogs when you catch them? Do they belong to your family? No, but you know clearly what you've done wrong. Don't think of the same way when you see others making money. It won't be good if something bad happens. Zhao Yun, are you threatening me? No, it's just a reminder. Let's go, Gooden. You're so crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. Qin Hailan said angrily and pulled Gooden away. Chapter 260. In the end, Zhao Yun wouldn't blame a child. Gooden was probably scared by Qin Hailan, which was why he said it out loud. Zhao Yun was currently curious about who Qin Hailan sold the bullfrogs to. Sun Zhengquan's restaurant relied on the bullfrogs to make the restaurant's business flourish. Other restaurants were envious and might imitate him. Therefore, it wasn't impossible for Qin Hailan to sell these bullfrogs to other restaurants. Zhao Yun sighed. Forget it. When the boat reached the bridge head, everything would be fine. It was useless for her to worry about this and that now. In the afternoon, Auntie Lu sent the bullfrogs over. The first time, there weren't many of them. Many people probably weren't sure if they would be paid for catching these things. There were a total of 60 caddies. To Zhao Yun, this was already not bad. 60 caddies. If the two families split them equally, it would be 600 copper coins. Zhao Yun had been busy until the evening, only then did she finish peeling these bullfrogs. Among the 60 caddy bullfrogs that were sent over, there were also a few toads that were thrown out by Zhao Yun. It wasn't that toads couldn't be eaten. The skin of this thing was poisonous. If it wasn't handled properly, it was very likely that it would leave behind toxins. Eating it into the stomach might lead to poisoning. Zhao Yun was too lazy to take that risk. She didn't care about earning a little more money. After dinner, it was already late at night. It was probably 7 or 8 o'clock. In the 21st century, it might not be considered late. In ancient times, it was rare to eat so late. Zhao Tianfu saw that it was late, so he went back early. He would eat at old Zhao's house tonight. At night, after lighting a lamp, Zhao Yun placed the dishes on the table and ate with Daodu and Mu Yanfeng. Mu Yanfeng's heart ached when he saw how tired Zhao Yun was. He asked, "Miss Yun, my injuries will probably heal in about 10 days. When that time comes, are you willing to live with me in Yang City with Daodu?" It was not that they had to live in the Shitzi estate. Since he had money, he could buy a courtyard for Zhao Yun and arrange for some servants to live there. This would allow the mother and son to live comfortably. Sun City. Live with you? Zhao Yun asked with uncertainty. No, you and I will arrange accommodation for Miss Yun and you. You don't have to live with me. Mu Yanfeng hurriedly explained, afraid that Zhao Yun would misunderstand. Zhao Yun said, "Oh, we don't have the money to buy a house in Yang City. Actually, it's not bad to live in the countryside." If they went to Yang City, Daodu would probably not have any friends to accompany him. In addition to the strange things in the village, Zhao Yun also liked this kind of rural and pastoral life. "It's okay, Miss Yun. I can buy everything for you. I will arrange everything for you." Zhao Yun chuckled. "Young Master Mu, you can't do this. If I didn't know better, I would think that you have a mistress outside. I don't want to be misunderstood." Zhao Yun's words made Mu Yanfeng feel a little embarrassed and his face turned slightly red. Raising Zhao Yun as a mistress? How could that be possible? If he really got together with Zhao Yun, he would naturally marry her openly. "Young Master Mu, Daodu and I are doing well in the countryside. You don't have to worry about us," Zhao Yun said again. She understood that Mu Yanfeng was just concerned about her. However, she had hands and feet. Mu Yanfeng had helped her so much previously. She did not want to continue receiving favors for no reason. Chapter 261. Early the next morning, Zhao Yun carried a basket full of bullfrogs to Yang City. Including the ones she caught herself, it was a total of 70 caddies. Zhao Yun discussed it with Auntie Lu. She wouldn't get a share of the money from selling the bullfrogs this time. She still had 600 copper coins. With the money she earned from selling the bullfrogs today, it was just enough to buy a little donkey. Sun Zhengquan didn't expect that Zhao Yun would really send over a lot of bullfrogs today. Although there were a lot of them, Sun Zhengquan had no reason not to accept them. In any case, these things sold well. No matter how many restaurants he bought, he would be able to sell them. After Sun Zhongquan settled the bill for Zhao Yun went straight to the market and began to choose a donkey. In the donkey market, there were also horses, mules, and cows for sale. They were all tools used for transportation or transporting goods. Generally, only rich people would buy horses. As for the mule and donkey, people like Zhao Yun will think about it. The cows that are sold are relatively small. She will buy a calf and raise it. When the calf grows up, it can be used to plow the field, pull goods and so on. There were more shops selling things. Zhao Yun began to slowly choose. After comparing, the last shop gave her the same price as the others. However, they gave her a wooden cart that could be pulled by a donkey. The cart could probably seat 3 or 4 people. It wasn't big, but it could be used to carry goods. It was a total of 1 or 260 copper coins. When Zhao Yun returned, she drove her little donkey. It was much more convenient and faster than old Father Hu's ox cart. It was also easier to feed the donkey. She just needed to feed it some grass. However, the donkey wasn't big. She still had to take good care of it later. It was a little small now, so she couldn't carry heavy goods for him. She had to wait until it was a little bigger before she could carry more important things. Zhao Yun's little donkey was a pity. When she arrived at the village, many people came over to join in the fun. They stared at her donkey for a while. Yun, girl, you've really grown up. You even bought a little donkey. That's right. No one in the village has ever bought it. It must be worth a lot of money, right? Of course it was before. None of us can afford it. In the future, it will be much more convenient to have a donkey in Shenyang city or town. The villagers surrounded Zhao Yun's donkey, which made Zhao Yun speechless. Although the villagers couldn't afford much of it, it didn't mean that it was rare. Most likely, they were curious as to how a poor person like her could afford it. The donkey was pitiful. It was in an unfamiliar environment and had to be surrounded. It was clearly afraid of such words. Yuner girl, it seems that if you go to the city in the future, you can bring a few of us along. A woman came up to Zhao Yuner with a smile. It was obvious that she wanted to get closer to Zhao Yuner. The next time Zhao Yuner went to the city, she could really bring her along. That's right. Yuner girl is a good person. If it's on the way, I'll definitely bring her along. A chubby woman also came up and said. Zhao Yun glanced at the fat on the fat woman's body and thought that if she were to bring her along, she would break their family's donkey. These people really knew how to take advantage of others. They were all shameless. Chapter 262. The moment they heard Zhao Yun say that they wanted to collect money, these people were instantly displeased. Yun, lass, we just want you to bring us along. If we give you money, is it still convenient? You can't be so stingy that you're going to argue with us villagers over 3 copper coins, right? Zhao Yun only felt that these people were a little funny. They were really thick-skinned to a certain extent. That was why they had the nerve to say anything. Zhao Yun curled the corners of her lips and said with a smile, Auntie, you're wrong. I spent money to buy this little donkey. How can it be free to carry people? Just like when you go to Yang City, can old man whose ox cart give you a free ride? These women could not refute Zhao Yun's words. It was not that easy to take advantage of others for free. Thus, one by one, they snorted softly. Stingy. Isn't it just a little donkey? Who wants it? That's right. Who wants it? Zhao Yun laughed coldly in her heart. It was best if they didn't want it. She treasured her little donkey. After driving the little donkey home, Dao Du and Zhao Tianfu ran over excitedly and stared at the little donkey. Mother, what is this? This is a donkey. Zhao Yun explained. Mother, Daudu has never seen one before. Daudu's eyes were filled with curiosity. It was obvious that he was very happy. Zhao Yun carried the two children onto the cart and let the little donkey wander around the house a few times. The two children were even happier. Children were like this. They were always full of curiosity when it came to new things. When Zhao Yun stopped, the two children still reluctantly got off the wooden cart. With a donkey, it would be much more convenient. If there was a chance in the future, she would take the two children out to take a look and let them know what Yang City was like. Mother, can Daudu touch it? Sure, but be careful, it might kick you. Oh, Daudu, be careful. Daudu touched the donkey's nose with his little hand. The donkey brayed twice and raised its head. Clearly, it didn't want Daudu to touch it. The donkey wasn't familiar with her family yet, so it was normal for it to resist. Zhao Yun stopped Daudu from touching her. Zhao Yun untied the wooden cart on the donkey and led the donkey into the wooden shed. The wooden shed wasn't big, and Lu Lei had helped build it in the past. Usually, there would be some wood in the shed, so it was just right for a donkey. Mother, what does it eat? Should we give it the same food as Little Black for lunch? Let's prepare a bowl for it too. Zhao Yun listened to Daudu's soft and cute words and was amused by Daudu. After the donkey came, it seemed like Little Black's status in the family would be affected. Zhao Yun shook her head and said to Daudu, Little Mao and Little Black eat different things. Little Mao can eat grass. Daudu can get some grass for it to eat. The donkey brayed again when it heard Zhao Yun's words. How could this woman casually give it a name? Little Mao. Wasn't it too old-fashioned? Okay, Mother. Then Daudu and little uncle will go get some grass for us. Daudu ran off like a wisp of smoke. Not long after, he came back with a bunch of grass. Chapter 263. Daudu walked over to the donkey with the grass in his hand. The donkey, which was originally very arrogant and cold, suddenly changed its attitude. It stretched out its mouth and rubbed against Daudu's side. It stared at the grass in Daudu's hand, and its black eyes lit up. Daudu didn't mind the donkey's arrogance from before. Instead, he put the grass in his hand next to the donkey's mouth and motioned for it to eat. The donkey curled its tongue, and soon, all the grass in Daudu's hand was in its mouth. Daudu chuckled as he fed the donkey. When the donkey was full, Daudu didn't have much of a reaction when he petted it again. Xiao Mao is full, Zhao Yun said. It was true that even animals understood the principle of one must be soft-mouthed after receiving gifts from others. Mother, Xiao Mao isn't resisting anymore. Daudu said excitedly to Zhao Yun. Of course, it ate the grass you picked. Hee, then Daudu will pick more grass for Xiao Mao in the future. Little He was a little jealous when he saw Daudu's attitude towards Xiao Mao. He ran over with his meatball-like body and barked at Xiao Mao. Woof woof woof, Little He, what's wrong with you? Why are you barking at Xiao Mao? You're all a part of the family in the future. You have to get along well. Daudu squatted down and patted Xiao Mao's head. Zhao Yun was amused by Daudu's adorable look. She felt very warm at this moment. Little He looked up at Daudu, but still barked a few times at Xiao Mao. The small puppy bared its teeth and pretended to be fierce. It was a little comical. Xiao Mao didn't care about such a big puppy's barks at all. He glanced at Xiao He indifferently and let out a soft snort as a response. Zhao Yun was a little suspicious when she saw Xiao Mao's arrogant look. Was this little donkey a spirit? Woof woof woof, Little He felt that he was being looked down upon. He angrily rushed in front of Xiao Mao and wanted to bite it. Unfortunately, before he could get close to Xiao Mao kicked him away. It seemed that Little He's kick wasn't light. Daudu quickly picked Little He up and rubbed him in his arms. Little He, are you okay? Because of the pain, Little He whimpered in Daudu's arms after being asked by Daudu. Zhao Yun's eyes. She didn't know whether to laugh or not. Speaking of which, Blackie really didn't know his limits. Such a small puppy fighting against such a big donkey, wasn't that just courting death? At the very least, he had to wait until it was as big as its mother. Xiao Mao was really polite. It only kicked Little Hay once. If it wasn't polite, it could have stomped Little Hay to death. Dao De let out a sigh, shook his head, and reprimanded, "Little Black, how can you be like this? You and Xiao Mao will be a family in the future. You have to love each other, okay? And Xiao Mao, Little Hay is still young. Don't bully it too much." Little Hay continued to woof woof. Zhao Yun's mouth evoked a touch of warmth. Such a Daodu is really cute. Zhao Yun didn't rest for long before Liang Jinxiao ran over. Yun Chapter 264. Yun, let's go. Liang Jinxiao pulled Zhao Yun and was about to leave. Zhao Yun looked puzzled. Go? Mother, where are we going? Liang Jinxiao took a deep breath. He was confused when he was anxious and did not explain clearly what was going on. Hence, he stopped in his tracks. Yun, someone drove a carriage to old Zhao's house today. He even brought a lot of things over. He said that they were for you, so your grandfather asked me to come over and call you, Liang Jinxiao explained. She was puzzled. Where did this person come from and bring so many good things to her daughter? Her daughter usually did not come into contact with any rich people. Zhao Yun was also puzzled when she heard Liang Jinxiao's words. Mother, what's going on? Who is here? Zhao Yun asked. Liang Jinxiao shook his head. I don't know either. Since he is here to bring you things, I thought you knew. She knew nothing. However, apart from curiosity, she also felt a little uneasy. After all, there was no such thing as a free lunch in this world. Who knew what the other party's purpose was? Zhao Yun followed Liang Jinxiao to old Zhao's house. Just as Liang Jinxiao said, there was a luxurious carriage parked in the courtyard of old Zhao's house. Such a luxurious carriage was very eye-catching in the village. There were already many people at the entrance of old Zhao's house, who wanted to see what was going on. Then, the women gathered together and began to chatter non-stop. The people of old Zhao's house were all in the courtyard, very warmly receiving the person who brought the things over. Zhao Yun walked over to take a look. It was a man in his 20s. She had never seen him before, so she did not recognize him at all. Seeing Zhao Yun coming over, Hua Chunhua showed a rare good attitude. She greeted Zhao Yun with a smile and said, "Girl Yun, come here, come here." Zhao Yun frowned. She was disgusted by Hua Chunhua's face. She was so fake. Li Chuiying and Zhao Xinhui, who used to dislike Zhao Yun, also greeted Zhao Yun with a smile. What the hell are they doing? Zhao Yun still walked over. She didn't care what tricks they were playing. After all, she wasn't someone to be trifled with. Hua Chunhua smiled and held Zhao Yun's hand. She introduced her to the man in his 20s. "Sir, this is our family's Yun." Zhao Yun pulled her hand away from Hua Chunhua's with some disgust and said sarcastically to Hua Chunhua, "Grandmother, you are much more enthusiastic today." Hua Chunhua smiled awkwardly. "Yun, look at what you're saying. It's as if I'm not treating you well. You're my biological granddaughter. What's wrong with me being close to you?" Zhao Yun didn't know where Hua Chunhua got the cheek to say such words. Didn't she feel disgusted? That's enough, grandmother. Don't be hypocritical. Aren't you just pretending in front of this gentleman? Zhao Yun exposed her without leaving any face. You. Hua Chunhua couldn't help but want to curse, but in the end, she suppressed it. What was a little bit of anger? Money was more important. Chapter 265. That's right, we're family. You're also part of our family. We'll treat you well in the future, Li Chuiying said hypocritically, just like Hu Chunhua. Zhao Yun's lips curled into a mocking smile. Second aunt, what are you saying? We've already split up, yet you're trying to make us so close. In the past, you wouldn't even let me come over when I came over to this courtyard. You little girl, why are you always so calculative about the past? Li Chuiying smiled embarrassedly, feeling like she had been slapped in the face. However, she didn't bicker with Zhao Yun. When the man in his 20s saw Zhao Yun, he said respectfully, Miss Yun, my family's young master asked me to deliver these things to you. He hopes that you can accept them. Zhao Yun glanced at the things in the carriage. There were some cloth, gold, silver, jewelry, and some more precious food, such as bird's nest and glossy Ganoderma. The things in the carriage were all treasures. They were worth a lot of money. It was obvious that he was a rich man. After Zhao Yun took a look, she didn't have any greed. No matter how good the things were, they didn't belong to her. She couldn't accept things that were given to her for free. What she needed to figure out now was who sent these things. Young master, who is your family's young master? Miss Yun, my family's young master's surname is Meng. You've met him before. When the man said young master Meng, Zhao Yun immediately knew who he was. The young master Meng this man mentioned was probably the ugly man she bumped into in Yang City that day. Heavens, could it be that this man had his eyes on her? He even dug out her home address. When she heard that it was young master Meng who gave these things, Zhao Yun couldn't accept them. This young master Meng obviously didn't have any good intentions. Thus, Zhao Yun refused, young master, I'm sorry, but please go back and tell your young master that I cannot accept these things from him. Also, tell him not to have any thoughts about me. After Zhao Yun finished speaking, the other members of old Zhao's family suddenly became anxious, especially Hu Chunhua and Li Chuiying. The two of them came up to persuade her. Yun girl, it wasn't easy for them to come all the way here to give you a present. Just accept it. That's right. It's their good intentions. They even sent someone to give old Zhao's family so many good things. It shows that they're sincere. Don't waste their painstaking efforts. If you return it this time, they might send it back next time. Zhao Yun looked at Hu Chunhua and Li Chuiying's faces. What they said sounded nice, but were they really thinking about her? They were just eyeing other people's good things. Zhao Yun completely ignored Hu Chunhua and Li Chuiying's words and continued to say to the man, young master, please take your things back. The man frowned slightly, as if he didn't expect this to happen. Miss Yun, my young master instructed me to send these things to you. If you don't accept them, I can't go back and report back. The man started to act pitiful. Zhao Yun said indifferently, that's your problem. Anyway, I won't accept these things. After Zhao Yun finished speaking, she didn't want to continue arguing with these people. She turned her back and left old Zhao's courtyard. Is there something wrong with this damn girl's head? Hu Chunhua scolded angrily. Chapter 266. That's right. She actually rejected all the good stuff that was given to her for free. She must have been kicked in the head by a donkey. Li Chuiying was also very angry. After all, the old Zhao family hadn't separated yet. If Zhao Yun really got these things and gave them to Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao, she would also enjoy a good life. Zhao Yun had left, but Hu Chunhua couldn't bear to let them take so many good things back. The man who sent the things over was also a little anxious. He didn't expect that a country girl wouldn't be moved by so many gold, silver, and jewelry. If he sent the things back, his master would scold him for being useless. He couldn't even handle such a small matter. Auntie, can you persuade Miss Yun again? The man asked Hu Chunhua. Hua Chunhua pursed her lips and said, "Young master, my granddaughter is very stubborn. It will probably take some time to persuade her." "Young master, I'm afraid you can't wait. How about this? Why don't you leave the things here? I'll persuade her again. I think she won't be able to accept it for the time being." The man thought about it and felt that Hua Chunhua was right. Anyway, his master asked him to send the things to Zhao Yun's house. He didn't say that Zhao Yun had to accept them. Zhao Yun's parents and grandparents could accept them on her behalf. "Then I'll have to trouble you, auntie. I'll have to explain it to my master when I go back," the man said gratefully to Hua Chunhua. Hua Chunhua didn't mind the trouble at all. She was more than happy to do it. Therefore, the whole family moved out and excitedly moved all the good things out of the carriage. Other than the gold, silver, jewelry, silk, satin, bird's nest, glossy Ganoderma, and other things that the country people didn't recognize. However, if it was together with the gold, silver, and jewelry, it was obvious that it was a treasure. If they couldn't afford it, they could take it to town and ask for money. Liang Jinxiao frowned. He did not agree with what Hua Chunhua had done. She asked cautiously, "Mother, this is not good. After all, these things are for Yuner." Yuner said that she doesn't want to accept them. "How can we accept them for her?" Hua Chunhua glared at Liang Jinxiao and said, "Your daughter is silly, so are you? Why wouldn't he want so many things? Your family's Tianfu just happens to need money to attend school. This is great. We don't have to worry about the school fees every year." Third sister-in-law, "Mother is right. Don't be silly. If you accept the gift, our Zhao family will have a good life. As for Yuner, go and persuade her again. When the time comes, we will still be a family. Ask her to move back and we will give her a room. It's not easy for a woman to take care of a child," Li Chuiying said. At this moment, he remembered that Zhao Yuner's life was not easy. In fact, it was all calculated. If Zhao Yuner didn't come back, these things would be for Zhao Yuner. They couldn't take advantage of it. If they coaxed Zhao Yuner to come back, these things would belong to everyone in old Zhao's family. Everyone would be able to benefit from it. Liang Jinxiao didn't know how to refute. She knew that since they were targeted by Hua Chunhua and the others, they would never give up the idea of going back. Forget it. She had to talk to Zhao Yuner about it later. Hurry up and move it back. Third daughter-in-law, don't just stand there. Hurry up and help. Hua Chunhua called out. Liang Jinxiao sighed and began to help move the rest of the things down from the carriage. Chapter 267. Auntie, I'll take my leave first. I'll leave Miss Yuner in your care. Young master, take care. We won't see you off. After the carriage was far away, old Zhao's family members happily looked at the things that young Master Meng had sent over. So many jewelry, gold, silver, and jewelry. It's enough for our family to spend for a lifetime. Li Chuiying said with a smile. Not only can we spend for a lifetime, but we can't finish it no matter how much we eat. Old Zhao's family will live a good life. Hua Chunhua smiled until her eyes narrowed into slits. Especially the several gold ingots. They had never seen such large gold ingots before. Not to mention gold ingots, even silver ingots were rarely seen. Mother, since our family has so much money, why don't we build a house first? We can build a big brick house. We don't have to squeeze our whole family into such a small shabby adobe house. It's best if we can build a big courtyard and make it the best one in the village. Li Chuiying began to suggest again. What she wanted most was to be able to enjoy life. Old Zhao's family had been poor for so long. Now that they finally had some money, they should quickly buy the things that needed to be bought. Hua Chunhua felt that Li Chuiying's suggestion was good. We didn't have money before. Now that we have money, we should naturally build a big house. When the time comes, we should build a big house. Each of us will have one room. With that said, most of old Zhao's family members were looking forward to their future life. Zhao Ping went forward with a smile and asked, "Grandmother, will each of us girls have a room?" Hua Chunhua thought for a moment. There were too many people in the family. If each girl had a room, how big would the house be? Although they had money, they couldn't spend it casually. So she said, "The boys will have a room alone. The girls will have a room together." "Mother, I want a room alone. I don't want to squeeze with them." Zhao Xinhui shook Hua Chunhua's arm and said with a pout. Hua Chunhua naturally agreed with her precious daughter. "Mother is talking about others. Of course, you will have a room alone. Mother, I know you're the best to me. You love me the most." Zhao Xinhui smiled sweetly at Hua Chunhua. "Of course, you're my only daughter." In addition to building a house, old Zhao's family members were also discussing other things to add more things to the house and look forward to a bright future. For the excitement of the other families, Liang Jinxiao was worried. After all, they were holding Zhao Yun's things. If Zhao Yun didn't agree, these things had to be returned to her. How could they discuss how to spend it now? "Mother, this cloth is so beautiful. Do you remember? Last time we were in the cloth shop, they had this kind of cloth. They said it was dozens of silver taels for a bolt." Zhao Xinhui said. She touched the cloth happily as she spoke. Hua Chunhua also remembered after being reminded by Zhao Xinhui. She said, "I remember. It seems that young Master Meng has sent good things. Mother, there are 7 or 8 bolts of cloth. I like these 2 bolts. Can you make 2 sets of clothes for me with these 2 bolts?" Chapter 268. Of course it's fine if Hui wants to make them. Yuner won't be able to finish these 7 or 8 bolts of cloth by herself. It's just right for you to take 2 bolts, Hua Chunhua said. If Zhao Yuner was beside them and heard Hua Chunhua's words, she would probably be angered to death. This level of shamelessness is too amazing, isn't it? She was obviously giving her things to Zhao Xinhui. She made it sound as if she was helping Zhao Yuner solve the problem of the cloth. Yes, yes. Thank you, Mother." Zhao Xinhui's face was full of smiles. With beautiful clothes and so much money at home, she could be considered a young miss in the future. Zhao Xinhui couldn't wait to finish making the clothes and then wear them to walk around the village. "Grandmother, there's still so much cloth left. Can you make 2 sets of clothes for Auntie and let me choose 1 bolt of cloth to make 1 set?" Zhao Ping looked at Hua Chunhua expectantly. Do you think Hua Chunhua will agree? After all, she had asked Hua Chunhua to allocate a room for her and Hua Chunhua had agreed. Before Hua Chunhua could reply, Zhao Xinhui snorted coldly. "Zhao Ping, why don't you take a look at your face? It's a waste for you to wear such good clothes. Do you want to wear better clothes to seduce someone? It's useless anyway. Men will vomit when they see your face. It's better for people to know their place." Zhao Xinhui mercilessly poked at Zhao Ping's sore spot. Zhao Ping looked at Zhao Xinhui angrily. This woman was too much. How dare she say that to her? However, Zhao Xinhui's arrogant and despotic manner was protected by Hua Chunhua. Zhao Ping knew that no matter how unhappy she was with Zhao Xinhui's words, she couldn't go against Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Ping suppressed the anger in her heart and complained, "Auntie, how can you say that to me? If you can wear better clothes, can't I wear better clothes? Don't all girls like to wear good clothes? They don't need other men to look at them. It's fine as long as they look comfortable." Zhao Xinhui mocked again. She looked at Zhao Ping and raised her chin arrogantly. "I wear good clothes because I'm pretty. In the future, a rich man will take a fancy to me and I'll marry into a good family. In the future, I'll lead the old Zhao family to live a good life. Can you do that?" Hu Chunhua also chimed in. That's right. Ping, girl, dress your auntie nicely. In the future, when your auntie marries into a good family, she'll lead us to a good life. It's a waste for you to wear it. But auntie, my clothes are old and torn. I want new clothes. Then I'll buy you some coarse cloth to make clothes. Zhao Ping, pouted and looked unhappy. This was too much. How could they treat her like this? No, she had to go back and talk to her parents. Since these things belonged to Zhao Yun, the old Zhao family couldn't keep them. They had to give them to Zhao Yun, Zhao Yun had to give them to her parents. When the time came, she could ask them to share some of these good things with her. There are still a few bolts of cloth. Get one and make a set of clothes for Pan, Hu Chunhua said with a smile. Hu Chunhua really loved this eldest granddaughter-in-law. She couldn't bear to part with other people, but she was generous to Shin Pan, for once. Chapter 269. Now that her name was mentioned, Shin Pan, couldn't pretend to be uninvolved. Hu Chunhua had good intentions, but Shin Pan, was a sensible person. No matter how good something was, no matter how much she liked it, she wouldn't want it if she shouldn't have it. She didn't want to be implicated if anything happened. Thus, she smiled at Hu Chunhua and said, Grandma, I have clothes to wear. I don't need to dress up too well. Can you make a few more clothes for younger aunt? Younger aunt isn't married yet, so it's always a good thing to wear something nice. Shin Pan's tone was gentle, showing that she didn't fight for anything. At the same time, she was thinking for Zhao Xinhui. Everyone in old Zhao's family liked this kind of delicate and sensible person. Even Zhao Xinhui, who didn't like to get close to others, had a good impression of Shin Pan. Usually, he would intimately hold Shin Pan's hand and chat with her. When Hu Chunhua heard Shin Pan's words, she looked at Shin Pan with admiration. In old Zhao's family, she was the most sensible granddaughter-in-law. She didn't like her for nothing. If Pan says so, then forget it. But now, our family has money. When Tianlong goes to the capital to study, let him bring more money with him. After all, he has to socialize there. It's not good if he doesn't have money, Hu Chunhua said. Shin Pan didn't reject Hu Chunhua's words. She didn't say whether the money was taken from the things she gave to Zhao Yun. It could be considered old Zhao's family's money. If anything happened in the future, she wouldn't have to take responsibility. It's only right to give Tianlong more money. When Tianlong passes the imperial examinations, he'll be able to help old Zhao's family, Li Chuiying agreed. Hu Chunhua was overjoyed. All right. Let's not stay in the house anymore. Let's go back inside. Move these things into the house. Don't show off your wealth. It won't be good if others see it. Hu Chunhua shouted. Okay. The others responded and began to move the things into the house. After everything was piled up in Hu Chunhua's room, the people who had gathered around old Zhao's house to watch the fun didn't leave. Instead, he was even more curious about what was going on. Was old Zhao's family going to make a fortune? Although they were all country bumpkins, they weren't country bumpkins. They didn't touch anything. He could still recognize gold, silver, and jewels. Who sent so many good things to old Zhao's family? Could it be that someone is here to propose marriage? That Zhao Xinhui is quite pretty. Perhaps a young master from a rich family has taken a fancy to her. That's possible. After all, she's so good-looking. Alas, nowadays, it's good to be good-looking. If she can marry into a good family, it seems that old Zhao's family is going to live a good life. I think she's going to be someone's concubine. We country bumpkins definitely won't marry a rich man's wife. What's so good about being a concubine? No matter how rich she is, she's still a concubine. It's better for her to marry into a poor family. At least she's still a concubine. Someone couldn't stand it and said jealously. You can't say that. We country bumpkins are poor. All we want is to live a good life. Since they sense so many things, it shows that they value Zhao Xinhui. If she marries into their family, she won't suffer too much. Chapter 270. The villagers gathered in the courtyard to discuss, but they couldn't come up with anything. Someone said, "Why don't we go and ask?" We can go and ask. Look at how happy old Zhao's family is. They probably want people to ask. Let's go and ask. Therefore, the people who wanted to join in the fun gathered together and entered the courtyard of old Zhao's house. Aunt Zhao, congratulations. Yes, what's the big deal? Who sent you so many things? Hu Chunhua was surrounded, and questions came from all around. She didn't know what was going on, so how could she explain it to these people? She said, "It's nothing." How can it be nothing? I think it's a happy occasion. Hu Chunhua pursed her lips. It's really nothing. If there's a happy occasion, I'll definitely let you know. Aunt Zhao, you don't want to tell us. Why are you hiding something good from us? We're all villagers. Don't treat us like strangers. That's right. Just tell us. Hu Chunhua didn't know how to respond. She couldn't say that she had received gifts from someone for Zhao Yun. She would be scolded to death. Okay. Don't ask. When the day of the happy occasion comes, I'll definitely let you know. It's hard to say now. Hu Chunhua said vaguely to deal with the villagers. Seeing that Hu Chunhua didn't want to reveal anything, they knew that they wouldn't be able to get anything out of her even if they asked. Okay. Let's go. Old Zhao's courtyard, which was originally bustling with noise, suddenly became quiet. However, after the villagers asked, old Zhao's family began to pay attention. Who was this young Master Meng? Why did he send gifts to Zhao Yun? Mother, why do you think he sent so many treasures to Yun? Li Chuiying asked embarrassedly. She was also very curious. Hu Chunhua snapped, how would I know? You're asking me, but who would I ask? Mother, do you think it's a rich young master who has taken a fancy to Yun? Li Chuiying guessed. Otherwise, she couldn't think of a reason. He has taken a fancy to Zhao Yun. Hu Chunhua thought and sneered. How's that possible? Who would take a fancy to Yun? Rich young masters have all kinds of women. Not to mention a woman with a child like Zhao Yun. Mother, then tell me why. They're not stupid. They definitely wouldn't send so many good things over for no reason. You're right. Could it be that someone has taken a fancy to Yun? I think so. But mother, it's good. Since someone has taken a fancy to Yun, it's a good thing. I think it won't be long. Our old Zhao's family is asking for her hand in marriage. Now that they've sent so many gifts, the gift money will definitely be more. Anyway, Yun hasn't married yet. When the time comes, we'll marry her off. Li Chuiying was a little excited as she spoke. When she thought of money, she was easily excited. It seemed that her life would be better in the future. Hearing Li Chuiying's words, Hu Chunhua thought that it was true. Chapter 271. They sent so many good things over, but Zhao Yun didn't accept them, let alone let Zhao Yun get married. Moreover, Zhao Yun had already moved out of the family, so it was not easy to control her. Li Chuiying smiled and said, Mother, why are you worried about this? After all, Yun is a member of our Zhao family. Her parents' orders and matchmakers' words, this girl's marriage will naturally be arranged by our elders. Besides, young Master Meng was not bad. To be able to marry such a rich man like young Master Meng, it was Yun-er's blessing. Many people in the village wanted to find a good family for their daughter, but they could not find one like young Master Meng. Why doesn't Yun-er agree? That's true. Although Yun has separated from the family, we still have to take care of her marriage according to the orders of her parents and the words of the matchmaker. That's right, mother. The other members of the old Zhao family were listening. Zhao Ping-er was a little envious and jealous of Zhao Yun-er. Why could Zhao Yun marry into a good family? She wouldn't have to worry about food or clothes for the rest of her life. Liang Jinxiao frowned and said in a low voice, Mother, I still think that Yun has grown up. She can decide her own marriage. If young Master Meng wants to marry her, he has to ask for Yun-er's opinion. Li Chuiying snorted and quickly fanned the flames in Hua Chunhua's ears. Sister-in-law, how can you be like this? You always disagree with our mother. Yun-er's marriage, as an elder, of course, I can handle it. Besides, it's not harming Yun-er. Young Master Meng is such a good man. It's good enough that he likes a woman with a child. She has the right to be picky. Does she really think that she can find a better family? But Liang Jinxiao still frowned. There was nothing wrong with what she said, but it made people feel uncomfortable. Well, third brother's wife, don't talk so much. Let's talk about this later. Okay then, old Zhao's family members ran away. Hua Chunhua pulled Zhao Xinhui into her room and said to Zhao Xinhui, it's one thing to make beautiful clothes for you. Now, hurry up and pick a few pieces of jewelry that you like. It'll match with the clothes later. Hua Chunhua couldn't give Zhao Xinhui beautiful jewelry in front of the other branches. Otherwise, they would probably fight for it. Zhao Xinhui's eyes lit up. Mother, really? Of course it's true. Mother won't lie to you. But you can't pick too many. 3 pieces are enough. Zhao Xinhui nodded heavily and then began to pick from the box. In the end, she chose a gold hairpin, a gold bracelet, and a pearl necklace. Mother, do you think I look good wearing it? Zhao Xinhui waved the gold bracelet on her wrist in front of Hua Chunhua's eyes. Yes, yes. My Hui naturally looks good wearing it. Mother, I think it looks good too. Zhang Xinhui said with a grin. She happily brought the jewelry into her room. After Zhao Yun went back, she hurriedly prepared lunch. However, she was a little absent-minded because of young Master Meng. Chapter 272. If young Master Meng really came, with the character of old Zhao's family, they would definitely sell her out. Seeing Zhao Yun come back from old Zhao's house with a heavy heart, Mu Yanfeng couldn't help but worry. He asked, Miss Yun, what's wrong? Is there something wrong? Mu Yanfeng hoped that Zhao Yun could confide in him. If he had the ability, he would also help Zhao Yun solve her problem. Zhao Yun shook her head. Nothing. There are too many weirdos in my family. Did someone bully you? No, how could it be? How could those people bully me? Although those people in old Zhao's family were a little weirdos, they didn't dare to do anything to her. She was worried about young Master Meng. He was rich and powerful. He probably had connections with both the underworld and the legal world. If he wanted to make things difficult for a little peasant girl like her, it would be a simple matter. In this era, it was really difficult to live without money and power. For a commoner, someone with power could casually use some tricks to kill her. She didn't have anyone to rely on now. Naturally, she couldn't deal with someone like young Master Meng. Mu Yanfeng smiled slightly. Zhao Yun said it casually, but he knew that things were definitely not that simple. Miss Yun, if there's anything, please tell me. If I can help you, I will definitely help you. I definitely won't let anyone bully you. Mu Yanfeng said seriously, as if he was reminding Zhao Yun, Okay. Zhao Yun responded. She was very touched by Mu Yanfeng's actions. However, Mu Yanfeng wasn't anyone to her. She couldn't rely on him for a lifetime. If there was anything in the future, she had to deal with it herself. After recuperating for a few days, Mu Yanfeng's body was no longer like before. The wound on his ankle was almost healed, so it was fine if he moved slightly. Now, Mu Yanfeng could slowly move to the toilet by himself. Mu Yanfeng really didn't like using the cesspool in Zhao Yun's house. This was too simple and crude. It was just 2 wooden planks. With such a large person on top of it, there was a feeling that the planks would not be able to bear his weight. If the planks collapsed, his whole body would fall into the cesspool. So every time he went to the toilet, Mu Yanfeng was a little careful. He didn't want the planks to collapse. Many seeds planted in the vegetable garden in Zhao Yun's garden had sprouted, and a bunch of them had sprouted. Zhao Yun saw that it was almost time to fertilize the vegetables. There was nothing to do in the afternoon. Zhao Yun took a dung bucket and prepared to go to the latrine pit to get some dung to water. However, before Mu Yanfeng went to the toilet, he didn't greet Zhao Yun. When Zhao Yun pushed the door open, she saw Mu Yanfeng, who had taken off his pants, squatting in the cesspool. Both of them were stunned for a few seconds. Zhao Yun didn't expect Mu Yanfeng to be in the cesspool. She didn't see Mu Yanfeng come out of the house just now. Why did he suddenly appear out of nowhere? Mu Yanfeng didn't expect Zhao Yun to suddenly barge in. It wasn't good to tell Zhao Yun about the cesspool. Gradually, he could squat in the cesspool and unbuckle his pants. Naturally, he wouldn't trouble Zhao Yun. Miss Yun. Mu Yanfeng's face turned slightly red. He was a little embarrassed. Chapter 273. After Mu Yanfeng coughed awkwardly, Zhao Yun finally reacted. Zhao Yun quickly turned her back and rubbed her forehead. Oh my god, who could tell her what kind of embarrassing thing she had done again? She didn't know how to explain it to Mu Yanfeng now. I didn't know there was someone in the latrine. Young Master Mu, why didn't you tell me when you went to the latrine? I could have helped you. Zhao Yun said awkwardly, but if she didn't say anything, the atmosphere would be even more awkward. Thinking of the scene she saw just now, Zhao Yun was extremely embarrassed. Thinking about it, Mu Yanfeng was really pitiful. She had seen his entire body from head to toe. Since she had seen him naked, Zhao Yun wondered if she should be responsible for Mu Yanfeng. I can do it myself, so I didn't trouble Miss Yun. Does Miss Yun also want to go to the latrine? Do you want me to hurry? Mu Yanfeng asked. No need, no need. Young Master Mu, you can take your time. I'll leave first. Just let me know when you're done. Zhao Yun said this and hurriedly ran away. When she reached the front yard, her entire face was red. It was probably the first time she had encountered such an embarrassing situation. When Daodu saw Zhao Yun like this, he quickly asked, Mother, what's wrong? Why is your face so red? Are you feeling unwell? Mother, it's nothing. Zhao Yun quickly said. Oh, Mother, it's good that you're fine. I'll continue to play with Xiao Mao. Daodu said in a soft voice. After a while, he ran away. He probably wanted to get some grass for Xiao Mao first and feed it to it later. Not long after, Mu Yanfeng came out of the latrine. Miss Yun, I'm done. Young Master Mu, you're so fast. Zhao Yun felt a little guilty in her heart. Did she interrupt the other party's mood? Was that why it was done so quickly? Mu Yanfeng didn't know how to answer Zhao Yun's question. After all, he also felt embarrassed. Then I'm going. Zhao Yun took the dung bucket and went to the latrine. She got some dung and mixed it with some water. Then, she began to fertilize the vegetables in the vegetable garden. Once the excrement was stirred up, the entire courtyard was filled with that smell. However, the villagers seemed to be used to it. After all, they didn't have any other fertilizers, so they often fertilized their vegetables like this. When Zhao Yun'er was doing it, her stomach churned a few times, and she felt a little nauseous. Unfortunately, she had to do it herself, and she had to endure the discomfort in her heart. Mu Lianfeng stood by the door and looked outside. He could see Zhao Yun'er's figure busily working in the vegetable garden. A hint of heartache appeared in his eyes. He didn't expect that Zhao Yun'er would have to do it herself. It was really too tiring. Although it was comfortable to stay with Zhao Yun'er, Mu Lianfeng suddenly felt that it might be more comfortable to leave with Zhao Yun'er and live a good life being served by others. Unfortunately, Zhao Yun'er might not agree. At 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the village became lively again. Zhao Tianlong returned from the academy. Old Zhao's family would hold a banquet tomorrow. Her fifth uncle, Zhao Wensheng, also returned to the village. Chapter 274. Zhao Tianlong and Zhao Wensheng had rented an ox cart and the two of them sat on it. There were also some things on the cart. For tomorrow's banquet, other than some vegetables and meat dishes, they could buy everything in the village. For those that could not be bought, they bought them from the town and brought them back, saving them the trouble of making another trip. Naturally, this time, Zhao Tianlong's banquet was not a traditional one. It was just some delicious food and a banquet for the villagers to celebrate Zhao Tianlong's birthday. Of course, the villagers had to send gifts to old Zhao's family first. It was up to them to decide how much they wanted to send. In any case, they did not have to go by the traditional way. The ox cart passed by Zhao Yun'er's house. Zhao Yun'er originally did not want to join in the fun, but the ox cart finally stopped in front of her house. Zhao Wensheng walked down from the ox cart with a piece of pork in his hand. It was estimated to be 1 jin heavy. Since he was already in front of her house, Zhao Yun had no reason to not see him. This was also the first time she met Zhao Tianlong face to face. This was the first time Zhao Yun met her eldest cousin brother. He gave off a good impression. His face was very delicate and pretty, and he had a scholarly air about him. He was a little thin, but he was still tall and barely passable. A man like Zhao Tianlong was considered rare in the village. After all, it was hard to find a man who had studied and was not bad-looking. It was no wonder that Shen Pan was willing to marry into the village. She had probably taken a fancy to Zhao Tianlong. When Zhao Tianlong faced Zhao Yun, he gave a faint smile and his attitude was neither cold nor warm. Zhao Yun did not expect him to be so warm. After all, compared to the other people in old Zhao's family who looked down on her and gave her the cold shoulder, his attitude was much better. However, for some reason, Zhao Yun could still feel the alienation and isolation from Zhao Tianlong. If the two of them had not met face to face, perhaps he would not even bother to greet her. This faint smile was only out of politeness and to ease the awkwardness. Zhao Wensheng carried the pork and handed it to Zhao Yun. Girl, I said that I would bring this for you from the town. Eat some with Dowda to nourish your body. Zhang Wensheng had used his own private savings to buy the pork. He remembered that his niece was living a difficult life, so he brought 1 jin of pork back from the town this time. The ox cart had stopped in front of Zhao Yun's house was to give the food to Zhao Yun in advance. Otherwise, after returning to old Zhao's house, if he wanted to send the pork to Zhao Yun again, would Chen Hua and the others would probably make a fuss again. Fifth uncle. Zhao Yun saw that Zhao Wensheng was actually thinking about her. It would be a lie to say that she was not moved. Thinking about it, not everyone in old Zhao's family was a weirdo. There were quite a few decent ones. Why are you in a daze? Take it. But don't tell your grandmother and the others. Zhao Wensheng warned. Zhao Yun did not refuse. Since Xiao Wensheng had personally brought it back to her, it meant that he was sincere. Thank you, fifth uncle. You're welcome. Yun, your eldest cousin brother and I will go back first. If you want to play, you can go over in a while. It's probably lively at home. Today is a happy day. If you go over, your grandmother and the others will definitely not say anything. Zhao Yun was too lazy to go over, but in front of Zhao Wensheng, she did not refuse. Thus, she said, okay, fifth uncle. You can go back first. Okay. Chapter 275. It just so happened that she didn't buy meat today because she bought the donkey. Later, she would ask Zhao Wensheng to send her a caddy of pork, so she could add more food for the children at home. Mu Lianfeng propped himself up and walked behind Zhao Yun, unknowingly. Zhao Yun turned around and almost bumped into Mu Lianfeng. Young Master Mu, why are you here? Zhao Yun asked. This man had suffered such a serious injury. Shouldn't he be lying in bed and recuperating? Why was he moving around so casually? Forget that, he even came to a place like the kitchen. The originally low wooden shed was occupied by Mu Lianfeng's tall body, and the space instantly became much smaller. Mu Lianfeng stood in front of Zhao Yun, like a tall mountain. It's so boring to stay in the house every day. I just want to follow behind Miss Yun, and look around. This kitchen is my first time entering. Mu Lianfeng said as his eyes glanced around and looked at the kitchen. Zhao Yun was stunned as she digested the meaning of Mu Lianfeng's words. Was there any other hint? Was he complaining that she didn't talk to him more? But she faced Mu Lianfeng every day. It was already awkward for a man and a woman to be alone. If they talked more, what could she and Mu Lianfeng talk about? After all, they weren't lovers, nor were they husband and wife. If they weren't talking about love, they definitely wouldn't have so much to talk about. Zhao Yun was even more afraid that after interacting with each other for a long time, feelings would develop over time. What if she really had that kind of deep affection for Mu Lianfeng? What should she do? Then if you're bored, follow me. But, it seems like you'll still be bored. Why don't you play with Daodu? Zhao Yun asked. Mu Lianfeng pursed his lips and smiled. Miss Yunner, do you think I'm a child? No, I was just suggesting. Zhao Yunner seemed a little awkward. She did not think that Mu Lianfeng was as childish as a child. She had no other intentions. Mu Lianfeng must have misunderstood. I think it's better to be with Miss Yunner. Miss Yun, just say a few words and I won't be bored, Mu Lianfeng said with a hint of craftiness in his eyes. Zhao Yunner pursed her lips. All right then. But in front of Mu Lianfeng, what could she say? Young Master Mu, why don't I tell you a few jokes? Zhao Yun thought about it and said to Mu Lianfeng. It was also good to let Mu Lianfeng have some fun. Miss Yunner, go ahead. Zhao Yunner thought about it and said. The bride walked out of the bridal chamber in pain early the next morning. She held the wall with one hand and covered her lower body with the other. She cursed loudly, what a liar. Before the wedding, she said that she had 30 years of savings. I thought it was money. After Zhao Yunner finished speaking, Mu Lianfeng was stunned. He did not seem to understand what Zhao Yunner meant by this joke. But after a while, he immediately responded. There was a hint of an ambiguous smile in his eyes. Zhao Yunner saw that Mu Lianfeng did not smile and was looking at her ambiguously instead. She frowned awkwardly. Her joke had simply blurted it out without much thought. At that time, the men in the office often whispered dirty jokes in her ear, so when she heard it, the moment she thought of the joke, she reflexively blurted out what they had said before. Now, great. Chapter 276. She rubbed her forehead. She could not take back what she had said. It was useless to regret it. Miss Yun's joke is quite interesting, Mu Yanfeng said with a smile. There was a hint of ambiguity in his tone. The corners of Zhao Yun's mouth twitched, and she forced a smile. Is that so? Young Master Mu, you also think it's funny? Yes, I've never heard of jokes before. However, shouldn't the bride that Miss Yun mentioned be happy? There are very few people who can save this kind of savings for 30 years. After Mu Yanfeng finished speaking, the smile on Zhao Yun's lips froze. How should she answer this question? A 30-year-old virgin man, whether it was in the ancient times or the 21st century, seemed to be relatively rare. One had to know that in ancient times, people could usually get married in their teens. At most, they would not survive past their 20s. Mu Yanfeng, in ancient times, was definitely a golden leftover man. Zhao Yun laughed awkwardly. Yes, you should be happy. After all, it's not easy to find a virgin man. Young Master Mu, have you also accumulated savings for more than 20 years? Have you spent it? Zhao Yun was originally just curious, but she did not expect to ask involuntarily. The moment she blurted it out, Zhao Yun wanted to find a hole to hide in. What kind of questions was she asking? In the 21st century, she often joked with her male colleagues and did not have so many scruples. However, she was facing Mu Yanfeng now, not her colleagues. Mu Yanfeng was slightly stunned at first, then his eyes darkened. His expression was a little sad, as if he had thought of something unhappy. Seeing Mu Yanfeng's reaction, Zhao Yun roughly guessed that Mu Yanfeng's first time was probably gone. Zhao Yun did not know why she felt a little disappointed. Perhaps it was because she had some feelings for Mu Yanfeng, and she hoped that the other half she found in the future would not have sex with other women. Men and women might have some private parts. Thinking about it, it was normal for Mu Yanfeng to lose his first time at such an age and with such an identity. Even if they weren't married, those who were young and energetic would more or less have some physical needs. Mu Yanfeng suddenly asked, Miss Yun, do you care if a man is a virgin? Ah. Zhao Yun did not understand why Mu Yanfeng suddenly asked her this question. Should he ask her if she didn't care or not? Based on her answer, he could roughly guess that women generally didn't care. Mu Yanfeng stared at Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun felt like she was being interrogated. Why did this guy want to know the answer to this question? I do care a little, but it doesn't mean that other women care. After all, it's normal for men to have 3 wives and 4 concubines. Zhao Yun said. In this society where men were superior to women, the social status of women was very low. Not to mention the extravagant hope that a man's first time was given to her, it was not easy for her not to share her man with other women. So, Miss Yun cares. Mu Yanfeng murmured, looking a little sad. Sigh. Mu Yanfeng sighed softly and looked at the courtyard. If there was no accident, then he would be a virgin now. Unfortunately. Chapter 277. Even if he didn't want to admit it, or rather, he didn't want that incident to happen, but it still happened. Thinking about what happened that night, Mu Yanfeng's forehead hurt. He tried hard to remember, but he didn't know why a woman suddenly came that night. The only thing he remembered was that there was a small, red lotus mark on her chest. It was beautiful and charming. He didn't know who this woman was and where she was now. He wasn't an irresponsible person. If he found her, he would definitely give her an explanation. Mu Yanfeng accompanied her to cook dinner. Zhao Yun was afraid that Mu Yanfeng would be bored to death by himself, so she didn't let him lie down and rest. Dinner was as sumptuous as ever because of the meat sent by Zhao Wensheng. In addition to the braised pork, Zhao Yun also cut some meat and made meatballs. The meat was minced and chopped together. She added some ginger and stuffed with some chopped green onions. The meatballs were made into meatballs and cooked with cabbage. The taste was not bad. Dowda held the bowl and ate, and secretly stuffed some meat into Little Black's mouth. Little Black was a dog, so he naturally liked to eat meat. The pork skin was quickly swallowed into his stomach. However, he was still a little puppy. His soft teeth couldn't bite the bones. He ate the meat skin happily. Zhao Yun also saw Dowda secretly stuffing food into the dog's mouth, but she didn't expose Dowda. This child would rather eat less than she wanted to share with Little Black. She was really sharing blessings with Little Black. Mother. Dowda ate and raised his head to look at Zhao Yun. What's wrong? Little Black eats meat. Does Little Mao eat meat? Little Mao doesn't eat meat. Zhao Yun shook her head. Donkeys ate grass, just like cows, sheep, and horses. Oh. Dowda lowered his head, as if he still didn't believe it. He liked both Little Mao and Little Black. Why couldn't he give meat to Little Black and not Little Mao? The two of them couldn't be treated differently. Dowda quickly finished the rice in his bowl, wiped his mouth with his little hand, and said to Zhao Yun, Mother, I'm done. Why did you eat so quickly today? Is Mother's cooking not good? Zhao Yun, was a little curious. It's delicious, but Mother, Dowda is really full. Okay, as long as you're full. Mother, I'll go see Little Mao. Dowda said. Zhao Yun's lips curled up. Okay, you can go. Dowda didn't dare to look her in the eyes. Zhao Yun is curious, what is Dowda going to do? Therefore, when Dowda's Dowda tea to Dowda want to go. Dowda went to the wooden shed and opened his palm to Little Mao. There was a piece of red braised pork in his palm. Little Mao, look, this is meat. It's very fragrant. My mother made it. Do you want to eat it? Dowda's serious and silly look almost melted Zhao Yun's heart. This silly child, how could a donkey eat meat? Although she wanted to share it with Little Mao, she couldn't not believe what she said. What made Zhao Yun's jaw drop was that Little Mao sniffed the red braised pork in Dowda's palm, and actually stuck out its tongue, gently rolled it up, and put it into its mouth, chewing for a while. After eating the red braised pork, Little Mao still wanted more. It rubbed against Dowda's hand, looking for more in Dowda's palm. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.